welcome to the 26th edition of the JK Tyre-FMSCI National Racing Championship. We're in Coimbatore at the Curry Motor Speedway for round one of the 26th edition of this fantastic championship. Well, quarter of a century gone by and a new chapter begins here at the Curry Motor Speedway, 26th edition. And we are going to start round one with the LGB Formula 4 category. There'll be 15 laps as far as this race is concerned. You can see we're at the picturesque Curry Motor Speedway with the mountains in the background, palm trees, along with the windmills as well. As always, bright and sunny with a fair bit of breeze blowing across the Curry Motor Speedway. To bring you up to speed as far as the temperatures are concerned, at the moment it is around 34 degrees. The track temperature would be a couple of degrees higher, slight bit of humidity of around 51%, and a strong breeze of around 13 kilometers per hour moving across the racetrack. No chance of rain, and that always is very, very good news. So we're minutes away from the start of action in round one. That is the 26th edition, and we will be starting off proceedings with the LGB Formula 4 category. Race one of the weekend. It will be a 15-lap race, as I said, of this 2.3 kilometer long Curry Motor Speedway. Very quickly, we'll talk you through the grid. It is a dark dawn dominance as far as the front two rows are concerned. Diljit TS will start at P1 alongside Tijil Rao at P2. Arya Singh, who finished second in the championship last season, will start at P3 along with Mehul Agarwal at P4. So it's a dark dawn, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you have Viswas Vijay Raj, who is from Ahura Racing, starting at P5. Alongside him is Meera Erda of M Sport in P6. Ruhan Alva, P7. Raghu Rangasamy, P8. Then you have Anushriya Gulati, the other female on the grid, at P9. Dhruv Goswami, P10. You have Chetan Surineni, P11. Mohit Kumran, P12. Mohit Aryan at P13. Neev Datta at P14. Surosh Ataria, the experienced campaigner, at P15. Abhinav Reddy, P16. Ashok Lal and Yokeshwaran Krishnavelu will lock up row number 9. Well, you got Saran Vikram and Akshay Kapoor right at the back of the grid. Now that was the grid, the starting grid for the LGB Formula 4. We'll very quickly move across to the racetrack where we got Saumil Arora talking to the drivers.
This is first race of the season and you put it on pole already. What's the excitement and what's the feeling like?
Hi. I mean, it feels great to be on pole on the first race of the weekend and the season. So just looking forward to finish the race and collect as many points as possible.
And you're back with Dark Dawn Racing as well this year. Has it been feeling like home once again?
Yeah, I feel that I'm back home, and it's just that, feels great with the car and great with the atmosphere with the team and the mechanics. Yeah.
Okay, so one thing that really worked out well for you yesterday was the teamwork in qualifying. All four in the top four are Dark Dawn Racing cars, but you can't work together in the race, can you? What's it going to be like?
No, definitely we cannot work together in the race because we all are individuals, and we all are racing to win the race. So, but I think we'll fight it out, and with a very good respect each other.
Have fun, buddy. Stay safe and all the best.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Tijil, what's up? First race of the season. How are you feeling? What does it feel like?
I'm very excited, of course, to be starting the championship. P2 is a very good place to be starting from. Hope to get a clean start and have a clean race. And also, we have done a very good job as a team. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've locked out both the front rows. So that's a great job from us. And I think, hopefully we look forward to getting a good show.
You've been testing here for the last 6 days, man. You must know every single inch of this circuit and this car as well. What have you learned in the last few days?
Yeah, I think testing, of course, helps us with whatever results that we're going to achieve. But I really think every year the competition becomes better and everybody comes with a new mindset, and we have newer drivers coming in. There are changes that we all make to the car, and the track also changes, so we really need that testing. It's very essential. So as of this weekend, I've learned that we have to work with the grip and a few more new things, which I'm going to hide. So yeah, hopefully let's see how that works out.
And okay, last question. What's the trick to beat Diljit?
There's no trick. He's my teammate. I think I'm just going to focus on my race. If it is, if I'm faster than him, I will overtake him, and then let's just keep it clean. That's about it. No tricks.
No. Good stuff. All the best, Dijil. Have fun. Right. Arya, finally, P3 for you in the opening race of the season. How are you feeling? It's a dark dawn top 4 actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good qualifying that we had, all 4 cars in the top, and the plan is to finish that way. So yeah, hopefully looking forward at exciting race.
You know your teammates inside out. You've been racing with them for the last 3, 4, 5, 6. It's been endless years, right? What can you learn about their racing strategies and what are you going to apply on the track to beat them?
Well, I think it's just down to, pure hard racing. There aren't any strategies as per se. It's just, go fast.
Makes sense. And again, in the race, how aggressive are you going to be? What's your style normally like for all the viewers?
Well, I think the best thing is to be an assertive kind of driver, be aggressive but sensible. You can't win a race in the first run, but you definitely can lose one. So, yeah, hopefully that does not happen.
Makes sense. All the best, man. Have fun. Mehul, welcome back again to the JK Tyre National Racing Championship. Round 1, race 1. This must be the most exciting time, right?
It is. It's a season start, and Dark Dawn has put in a good qualifying. We've managed to get 1, 2, 3, 4, and we intend to keep it like that.
The last few months in your racing career have been pretty exciting. What does it feel like building up to this one? Because you've got 3 really, really fast teammates.
It's really good to learn from them because they have a lot of experience in this category, and Arya, being one of my closest friends, has helped me a lot. So it's going to be a good season. We're going to have some fun.
Can't wait for that. And in this race, what's the one thing that you're most excited for? Most people say it's lap 1, but is there anything else that really stands out for you?
Maybe the podium.
Awesome stuff. All the best, Mehul. Have fun. Vishwas, first race of the season, you cannot hide your smile. How are you feeling?
Well, it's a great feeling, this year we are on a different goal, and right now we have all the Dark Dawns in the front, which are our main rivals. And for the start of the season, we are doing pretty well, and I hope we do good in the race as well, and we catch them.
Our resident McQueen of the circuit, you had a tricky weekend leading up to this one, but qualifying in relative terms was pretty awesome. P5 for you eventually. Do you feel that you've got enough in the car to go out and challenge them for the top positions?
Yes. There's a lot more in the car, and it'll come lap after lap. So let's see.
No, hopefully it goes well, man. Have fun. All the best. Meera, first race of the season. Welcome back, firstly, to the JK Tyre National Racing Championship. What is the excitement like? You look pretty calm sitting in the car today.
Yeah, I mean, it's P6, not bad. It's been a tough years back then. So hopefully a good start to the season and fight with the Dark Dawns.
You've been testing here for the last 5-6 days, right? It's been insane how many laps you've competed. What does the car feel like finally?
It feels strong finally. Hopefully we can compete with them and keep up and give them a tough fight.
And also, 2 races today as well. What really excites you the most about Saturdays generally at a JK Tyre racing event?
Obviously, you set up the pace for the next on Sunday, so you have to get the best positions out of the races, both races today. So I'm really excited, and obviously it's the first race of the season, so have to give up a good fight to everyone.
All the best for that. Have fun.
Right, so we heard from the pole sitters there. It was Diljit TS, Tijil Rao, Arya Singh, Mehul Agarwal, Vishwas Vijayaraj, and Meera Erida as well. Meera, one of the two female competitors in this category, along with Anushriya Gulati. We're moments away from the start of the first race, and that's the LGB Formula 4. But very quickly, just to give you a brief idea of how well spread motorsports in India is, from the hills of Dehradun to way south in Chennai, Coimbatore, and Hyderabad, Nellore, Vadodara in the west, and Kolkata in the east, and New Delhi right at the heart of everything. We've got all corners covered of the country as we are just about 3 minutes away from the start of the weekend. Remember, this is the 26th edition of the JK Tyre-FMSCI National Racing Championship. We're at the Curry Motor Speedway for round 1. And talking about the LGB Formula 4, it is the most economical Indian-made single-seater racing car. Diljit TS starts at pole position. He had a season to forget last time round, but this time in his favorite car, number 44, in his own Dark Dawn racing team, he will be looking to have a rather fantastic start, although you cannot count out his teammates in Tijil Rao, Arya Singh and Mehul Agarwal. But also, apart from that, we've got a few national champions present in the grid with the likes of Raghu Rangasamy, the ever-experienced Surosh Hataria. Then you have, obviously, Vishwas Vijayaraj as well, who finished third in the Drivers' Championship last season. It was a fantastic result for him, and also a fantastic result for Ahura Racing. So we're all set, not too far away from the start of the racing weekend. Remember, round 1, we will have the proceedings beginning with the LGB Formula 4. That's the safety car. A piece of art. Now then, we were talking about Diljit TS, who is obviously starting at P1. And we spoke about how he had a season to forget last time around. But he comes in, and he comes in good form. Remember, he won all the 3 races in the Super Stock class at the in last month's Indian National Car Racing Championship round 1. So that tells you that he's in good form, he's feeling well. And obviously with the times that he's clocked to get P1, tells you that he's carrying that form here at the JK Tyre National Racing Championship. Done with his duties on the track. Joining me now in the commentary box is Saumil Arora. Saumil, welcome back. Good to be back in the air conditioner.
Thank you, God. I guess definitely a lot cooler out here, but probably not as cool as what it feels like today this morning. Serve this position all the way through, and he feels like it's all okay. This is meant to happen eventually, which is strange to see actually.
I think Diljit is that kind of a character, you know.
Yeah.
You can see him smile even behind the helmet because he's that kind of a character. Just moments before the race, you can see him scooting around, having a chat, high fives. He's always like that. And, you know, I think that gives him that added advantage of, you know, not taking the pressure on himself, in fact, being relaxed and just doing his thing, going on to the racetrack. And as I said, you know, if you get a chance to look at Diljit TS, even with his visor closed and his helmet on, you can still imagine him having a smile on his face, and that's the character he is.
Always, there has to be a smile right there for Diljit every single time. But the air of calmness that you could feel around him today was immense. On the other hand, when you see someone like Tijil Rao, his teammate, super focused, super serious, you could tell. He obviously had a chat, but you could tell that he probably wasn't in the best mood to have a chat. He probably wasn't in the best mood to go racing. And that's the difference. That's the difference between all the characters that we see on the grid today, which is what really intrigues me. They all have different styles and approaches of how they build up their mind towards the race, which is so interesting to see as well. And primarily, my eyes are on the red car over there that you see on the third row of the grid, Vishwas Vijayaraj. He he shows himself to be relaxed, but behind the scenes, the week wasn't really the best. Some, I wouldn't say problems with the car, but let's say teething issues that always happen in testing that they haven't quite been able to solve completely. Even with that, Vishwas has found himself to be at the top of the grid. It proves a lot about how well the team and car dynamic works together. But I'm also very intrigued to see, can they build up on it to get a really good race? Because last year, he and Ahura Racing were immense together.
Absolutely. I think you've just got the point spot on that they were immense together. In fact, a great result for Ahura Racing as far as the team is concerned, coming third in the drivers, in fact, second in the drivers' championship. As we see, we're off for the formation lap. It's very important, obviously, to get the tyres warmed up before the actual race begins. And we're talking about Ahura Racing with 119 points. They were second in the Constructors' Championship. And talking about Vishwas Vijayaraj, the lad from Nellore, got 61 points out of those 119 and finished third in the Drivers' Championship. That's Diljit TS behind the safety car, going up for the formation lap. Diljit TS, obviously, like we said, mentioned a couple of times, he had a season to forget last time round, and he would be hoping to start fresh. He's coming in good form. He's missed the championship by a few small, slender margins in a couple of occasions. He certainly would want to get past that now. As we're getting information, there will be a couple of formation laps instead of one. Remember, this is a 15-lap race, the LGB Formula 4, around the 2.3 kilometer long Curry Motor Speedway. It is a warm day. That's why I asked you, Somil, you're glad to be back in the air conditioner, about 34 degrees right now. So the track temperature could be close to 36, a couple of degrees higher than normal.
Yep.
There is a decent breeze blowing across the track, about 13 kilometers per hour, and a little bit humid, about 51%, and no chance of rain. That is the great news. Although around 50 to 60% of humidity does make it a bit difficult for the drivers who are in the car. 15 laps does take a bit out of them.
It clearly does, but touch wood, they all seem to be prepared for it because most of them have been testing for the last 5-6 days. So they've been around in Coimbatore. They've gotten used to the weather as well. And most importantly, they've gotten used to what it feels like to be in the car for that long because consistently they've been putting lap after 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 lap. It's been insane how much mileage some of them have actually put in. And that's what you have to do to make sure that you're 100% comfortable. Because when you're racing against drivers of the caliber that we have in the JK Tyre National Racing Championship, you can't let even a single bit of performance go away. So for them, it's always been about getting themselves physically and mentally accustomed to it. And physically, touch wood, most of them seem to be right back in. But again, first race of the season, it will come back to bite some of them as well.
Absolutely. And talking about the first race of the season, an interesting point that we don't have the defending champion, Ashwin Datta, here present. He is, as I'm being informed, in the US completing his Masters. So that opens a bit of a door for the other competitors, including his teammate Arya Singh, who finished second. In fact, last season was possibly one of the closest fight we've seen for the title. It was down to 2 points before the start of the round and ended up with a difference of what, hardly a lot. In fact, it was just a couple of points as well, the difference between Ashwin Datta and Arya Singh. It was a Dark Dawn 1-2. Dark Dawn dominated the proceedings in the LGB Formula 4 category, and Afzal Riaz, he'd be hoping that long may that continue, because we've seen this rivalry between Dark Dawn and M Sport over the years. And also another interesting thing, we talk about the rivalry, we don't have Vishnu Prasad here for M Sport, another former champion. As you can see, the formation laps are over, the safety car is back in the grid. So now we are ready for action. The drivers will take their positions on the grid. Diljit will be hoping for a good start. So will be Tijil Rao, along with Arya Singh and Mehul Agarwal. But as you also mentioned, Somil, I think we'll keep an eye out on Vishwas Vijayaraj, who's in P5, along with another experienced campaigner in Raghul Rangasamy, who's another former champion. He's in M Sport and he's starting at P8. Seconds to go now. Off they go. It's a decent start for Tijil. In fact, it's a decent start for the front four. All front four in dark dawn. The first corner will be very interesting. It is Arya Singh who's moving into third. Coming in on the outside is Diljit TS, maintaining the advantage that he had starting from P1. He's gone on to maintain that position. And Vishwas Vijayaraj continues to be in fourth. And then you got that stream of yellows with Meera Edda, Raghu Rangasamy, Ruhan Alva, the likes all following. So it's a very good start for Dark Dawn, very good start for Diljit TS, and a clean start at corner one.
Indeed, which is quite a rare thing to happen in the LGBFO category considering how hard the racing is. But look at this one. Arya fighting it out with Tijil, finally getting into P2. And look at this at the back as well. Ruhan Alva, an incredible start for him, passing Meera Edda and already at the back of Vishwas as well. So things are getting spicy.
I think now, obviously, it's an individual sport, but there will be a bit of team tactics that might come into play. Well, we've got Diljit TS leading. We've got 3 Dark Dawns behind him. Could be a possibility that they might try and protect Diljit's lead, but also they themselves would want to finish at the top of the podium to get as many points as possible.
Ruhan Alva making a move down there at the back of Vishwas Vijayaraj. That was cleanly done. You can see how much confidence he has. He had a great qualifying yesterday. Unfortunately, got a bit of a penalty. And they're going side by side heading into turn one. This is incredible.
I think this is fantastic. The top 4, we all know, have peeled away rather. But the competition there, the fight between Ruhan Alva and, in fact, now Raghu Rangasamy and Meera Edda. In fact, that's Raghu, car number 99. Trying to catch up with Vishwas Vijayaraj. Raghu, you can never count him out. Raghu Rangasamy, a very experienced campaigner, a former national champion himself here. So, and he knows what it takes to win a race and win the championship. But so does Diljit TS, so does the likes of Vishwas Vijayaraj. Suresh Utaria started way back at the grid. He's had to make a few moves, although he's still not in the top 10. At the moment is Suresh Utaria. We are missing Amir Saeed this weekend. Amir Saeed, the young bloke who dominated the Novice Cup category before graduating to the LGB Formula 4 and signing up for Aura Racing. When he won the Novice Cup category, he was with M Sport. Arya Singh was put in the fastest lap, although we're just into lap 2. As now we see the Diljit TS leading the pack, followed by Arya Singh. Then you've got Tijil and Mehul coming in. So the Dark Dawn 1, 2, 3, 4 continues at the moment.
Wow, that is quite something. Arya Singh last time out putting in a 1 minute 16.714. That, for context, folks, is 3/10 faster than the leader, Diljit TS. So Arya on an absolute run. You can see how much his car is sliding around. Something's going right over there. But look at the back as well. Ruhan Alva in P5, his lap times need to be getting quicker because at the moment, the Dark Dawns are running away with it. And that poor qualifying for Ruhan with the penalty and stuff, that's really impacting him. But here comes Arya, finally making a move down the inside. Is it completed though?
Yes, he has. He has taken the lead as Arya Singh is moved into the top position. Although Diljit TS is not somebody who's going to give it away easily. And now it is Tijil Rao, car number 12, who's coming on the inside. Can Tijil wrestle the lead away? No, he can't. And the front 2 remain the same. It's Arya who leads in car number 10, followed by Diljit TS. And now you can see car number 12 of Tijil Rao coming in. And he's taken the second position away from Diljit TS. Is there a problem with Diljit's car? We'll have to wait and find out. But now that's Ruhan Alva putting some pressure on Mehul Agarwal as well.
It seems like there's a yellow flag been called. Tijil raised his hand at top and said that, no, I will not go past. There was a yellow flag called in for something, and that's why they've slowed down. Let's take a look at the main incident. Tijil, I think, seemingly getting the advantage of the scuffle that the two of them had. Did he cut a corner in his mind? Maybe that's what we'll have to figure out. But clearly, Tijil raising his hand and saying, no, let's all settle down. This is not fair. So this field settling down back in. Something's gone wrong. We'll figure out what is.
What you could see, obviously you can see the safety car now being deployed. And when you said that Tijil had raised his hand, you could see the yellow flag on the corner of the screen. That's one of the cars. That's car number 18 of Meera Edda that's being towed away. So that's the end of the race for Meera. Not a very, very good start for her and M Sport. And that's the reason why the safety car has been deployed. That means no overtaking allowed. And that's probably the reason why Tijil saw the yellow flag, and while he was trying to overtake, realized that that's obviously not going to work in his favor. If he continues, he could get some penalty. So he just raises his hand and drops back and did not take the race lead. But still, it's a dark dawn 1, 2, 3, 4. The pack has shuffled a bit with Diljit TS dropping out of third from P1, and Arya Singh, who started at P3, is now leading the pack with Tijal remaining second. This is going to be interesting. The restart here will be very interesting. The kind of pressure that Ruhan Alva can put on Mehul Agarwal. That is something that we'll be keeping a keen eye on.
No, absolutely, because Ruhan Alva in the last couple of laps, it was tricky for him to keep up with the 4 cars up ahead because clearly they were in a league of their own, getting a toe off each other as well, slipstreaming, and that clearly makes a difference with your lap times. But now, Ruhan is right back there. He will be getting the toe of all these 4 cars as well, so he gets the golden opportunity, and this restart will be perfect for him. Can he gain places now?
I think the start here will be very important. As you can see, the safety car has just gone down the pit lane. Oh, going a bit wide there, Tijal, but continues to, in fact, be second. Pushing extra hard, a bit harder on that final corner of that lap. But in the end, it is Diljit TS now making the move on the inside and comes back to regain his second position. Arya Singh comfortably ahead. Diljit TS now second. Tijal Rao in third, and Mehul Agarwal at the moment remains in fourth despite huge amount of pressure from Ruhan Alva and Vishwas Vijayaraj, who started at P5, has dropped down to the 6th position.
You can't argue with momentum. Tijal Rao made an error at the final corner, and the momentum Diljit made an error. Tijal made an error, and Diljit got all the momentum in the world with a clean exit, and that has helped him get back. But watch the pace of Tijal in this sector. Before the yellow flag and before the safety car, Tijal was blisteringly fast over here. In fact, he almost got 2 cars in one corner. So his speed and the momentum that he's carrying around this sector of the circuit is something to watch for, and you can already see the difference. Diljit under tremendous pressure, but Arya chilling. It's like a casual Saturday afternoon drive for him. It's lovely.
Well, we've been talking about Tijal and Diljit, but they're braking a bit hard there. Smoke coming off Tijal's car, but all's well. He's still on the track. He's continuing to chase down Diljit TS for that second position. But talking about Arya Singh, it must be heartbreaking for him to lose out on the championship by just a couple of points last season. But, these are kind of things that make you stronger. We see is Tijal now coming in on the inside, trying to make his move. Has he been successful? It seems, yes, he has. He's now moved up to second with Diljit TS dropping down to third now. But Arya Singh, slowly but steadily, is swelling that, increasing that gap between himself and the second and the third position. Still pressure from Ruhan Alva on Mehul Agarwal. So Arya Singh continues to lead, but there's a battle for second and third between teammates. And that's what happened with Mira's car.
And another major incident. Dhruv Goswami, unfortunately, heading out for a picnic in the outside. Was it a technical error? Was it a driver error? We shall figure out later on. But clearly not the best thing for him. But what you guys are seeing right here is incredible. By the way, hands raised up, so a yellow flag in the area clearly must be around. But this is painful for Arya Singh because in the last lap, he clearly was faster by everyone by 0.3 of a second. For context, everyone in practice was only a 1/10 of a second faster. Safety car called out. Arya must be beating his head on the steering wheel because he's been consistently faster than everyone to the point where I can't believe the margins. 0.3. I have not seen any driver be fastest by 0.3 this entire weekend, even in testing, even in practice. It's mind-blowing.
Well, it almost got a second's lead ahead of his teammate Tijal Rao, but now that's all gone with the safety car again being deployed. As you can see in the background, the yellow car, another one of the M Sport out. So that's not been a very good start for M Sport as far as race 1 and round 1 of the 26 JK Tyre-FMSCI National Racing Championship is concerned. Although it's still a long weekend, we do have a few races and it's a long season as well, so they can still catch up. But they say, well begun is half done. And that's certainly not the case with M Sport as far as this race is concerned.
Clearly, they have one major competitor in Ruhan Alva in P4, and that's going to be interesting because he's finally in this last lap, within all the chaos at the top, managed to get past Mehul Agarwal of Dark Dawn Racing. So Dark Dawn no longer 1, 2, 3, 4. Ruhan is up there, and his lap times looked pretty interesting. He clocked in at a 1:19, not the fastest in the world, especially considering the yellow flag also came in, but significantly faster than what Diljit had in the back over there. So we're getting to see some pace, some momentum from Ruhan come in, But this doesn't help out. Obviously, it helps him get closer to everyone, but you need a few clean laps. You need a few clean laps to get away and build up on what you've been making up so far. So, for Arya Singh, for Ruhan Alva, all that they want at the moment is something, some action, some green flag racing so that they can really prove the pace that they have so far.
And once again, the restart, as you said, will be very important as the safety car. I'm not very sure if it will continue to stay on the track. We'll get to know in a moment. But if it does go down into the pits, the start again will be very important. Not just for Arya Singh, but also for Tijal Rao, for Diljit TS, for Ruhan Alva as well. And in fact, for Mehul Agarwal, who's dropped down to fifth. Can he move back ahead and get back to fourth? But I think Afzal will not complain. Afzal Riaz, the team owner, he's still got his boys in 1, 2, 3. And the way they've started, yes, it is going into the pits, the safety car. That means we got full racing action resuming once again. It's a decent start for Arya Singh, but very close behind is Tijal Rao, and right behind him is Diljit TS. Now this will be very interesting with Ruhan Alva. Can he now try and catch up with Diljit TS and break the Dark Dawn monopoly?
He didn't quite get a good exit at the final corner. That wasn't the best thing in the world. Tijal looking racy though, making a move down the inside for the lead, and he's got it to stick. So finally, another change for the lead. Tijal Rao getting back into P1, but Arya Singh is not going to let him go that easily. No chance.
After last season, I think second is not his favorite number, is Arya Singh, that's for sure. Finished second in the championship. He certainly would want to start off on a winning note. But in fact, so would be Tijal Rao, Diljit TS, and the way Ruhan Alva has started the weekend, I think he'd be very happy to be on the podium. And now coming in on the inside, Tijal Rao, outside is Arya Singh. Arya Singh, this is a tire to tire. And in fact, Diljit TS now coming in and joining in the act, but Tijal Rao maintains that lead. This is terrific. There might be teammates, doesn't look like that.
Quite clearly, the Dark Dawns are beating each other up, and in the back as well, Ruhan Alva going for some tremendous moves with Mehul Agarwal. Tijal finally leads. We're getting to see Arya Singh in second place, and Diljit's attempt, my God, it was scary. He went down the inside line to a place where nobody has this weekend, but touch wood, everyone is safe. So that's incredible, but Arya Singh coming back in once again.
Well, you'd want to win the race, but you have to be careful that in trying to do so, you don't take your teammate out. And as you say, on the straight, it's Arya Singh who's now taken the lead once again, coming through corner 1 on lap number 8. And this competition, the fight for first, second and third is continuing. We're in fact, halfway through the race. 7 laps to go, including this one. And it is still Arya Singh who's now taken the lead. Tijal Rao in second and Diljit TS in third. So 1, 2, 3 have at one point or the other in this race have been race leaders, have been second and have been third as well. As now we come through that corner, Diljit was trying to come in on the outside, but no chance there. Wonderful stuff from the 3 Dark Dawn Musketeers, if I may call them. They're leading the race, doing very well. In fact, they've opened up a decent gap, about 2.5 seconds between themselves and the man in fourth, that's Ruhan Alva.
Quite clearly, and look at this move right here as well. Diljit putting his nose down the inside of Tijal Rao. Guys, these folks always hang out together outside the racetrack. They're constantly chatting with each other, watching Formula One, talking about something else. But when they get to the circuit, this is the quality of racing and respect that we're getting to see. Absolutely stunning. We could tell that Arya Singh's pace was absolutely stunning at the start of this race. The fact that he's able to maintain it and get past a very racy Tijal says quite something about his racecraft. Here's a look at the move that Tijal made down the inside and how Arya was able to counter it back up once again. Bold, brave, yes, but eventually Arya got the momentum in the second sector. Incredible stuff.
Now this is where Arya got that lead back. He was trying, but Tijal, obviously, he's not someone who can let his position go easily. We all know that. And again, by the end of that corner, we had Tijal leading the race. But now it is Arya who is leading the pack of the 3 Dark Dawns, closely followed by Tijal Rao. The gap, 0.248 seconds. I think that's very, very minimal between these two, and in fact half a second between first and third, and that tells you how close the front 3 are.
Things aren't quite going very well for Vishwas Vijayaraj though. He slipped back down into P6 and Rahul Rangaswamy, the multiple-time national champion, up into P5. So there's been some swapping around over there, much like there has been up in this battle for the lead as well though. You can see all the Dark Dawn cars slipping and sliding around, hunting for an extra tenth of a second every single place that they can find. And things are going to get spicy. 5 more laps to go. If there's a time to make a move, this is it. Here comes Tijil Rao on the outside. Look at the slide. Under braking, constantly putting pressure on the car. They're jumping over every curb, using every millimeter of the circuit. This is fantastic.
2/3 of the race gone, and we've had a brilliant start to the weekend. And in fact, it's been a brilliant start for Dark Dawn as well. But Raghu Rangasamy, who started at P8, he's quietly moved up to P5. He's someone you can just never count out. Raghu, he's a very experienced campaigner. He is, as Somil said, multiple-time national champion. The battle, although, is at the front of the grid between RS Singh and Tijil Rao. Forget about being teammate. I want to be top of the podium. That's what both of them are shouting each other at. And Diljit TS, not very far behind, he's just enjoying it. He's got the best seat in the house. Is Diljit. Everything is happening in front of him. And this is something that they have to be very careful of.
Yep.
That, being competitive is one thing, but there's a fine line in being competitive and doing something silly and losing that 1, 2, 3 for your team and gifting points to the opponents as they come through the final corner of lap number 11. It is Arya Singh who continues to lead. He is doing very, very well. Tijil Rao close behind, and so is Diljit. Now Tijil trying to come in on the outside. Can he do it successfully? Yes, he can. But no, Arya Singh has other ideas as well. Going wide. I think there was a bit of contact or maybe some hard braking from Tijil Rao to avoid contact with his teammate. That's what happened. So braking hard just to avoid that contact. You see the smoke coming out of the back end of the car, the tires. And that allowed Arya Singh to maintain his top position in the grid.
If you're a racing coach watching this and Tijil is one of your students, you would be constantly saying, Tijil, wait, you still have 4 more laps. You don't need to go that aggressively and that desperately. But now is the time. This is the place where Tijil is faster in Arya, where he carries more momentum. And so that's why Tijil goes down the inside right here into the long, fast right-hander. But Arya maintains momentum. Heading into turn 1 last time out, outbraked himself badly to the point that Diljit is also now in this fight. They've got to be careful going outside the circuit as well. Tijil Rao cannot wait. He just cannot stay behind in P2. He can't digest the fact that he's not leading the race, and Arya will have to contest with this one. The Silver Arrows are fighting hard and aggressively. Scenes of 2014 and 2016, it seems like. I love it.
Well, if I were of Zariyaz, I'd probably be grey now. The team owner of Dark Dawn. And now Tijil on the inside. Has he done it? It seems he has. Tijil Rao, well, he is somebody who just does not know how to give up. And he is, as you can see, car number 12 now leading the race with Arya Singh dropping down to third. That's where he came in on the inside, took the lead through corner 1, corner 2, on to corner 3 and maintained that advantage. This is terrific racing. As you can see now, Ruhan Alva, a distant 4th at the moment, as the battle now continues between Arya Singh and Tijil Rao. In fact, we've been talking about these two, but don't count Diljit TS out. It's a front 3, and any of those 3 can get to the top of the podium. At the moment, if they don't do anything silly, all 3 of them will be on the podium. The only thing that we have to confirm is who will be top, who will be second, who will be third. And as you see, that's Tijil earlier coming in on the inside to take that lead again. That's a bird's eye view of the beautiful Curry Motor Speedway. And once again, you can see the gap between the front 3 and the 4th.
It makes a difference. You can see Ruhan Alva in P4. He's clocking in good lap times, by the way, 1 minute 18s, which are not really the worst in the world, similar to what the leaders are doing. But these guys are constantly going hammer and tongs. Arya Singh on the outside, Tijil Rao on the inside. He's getting back in to make a dummy move. Is he going to outbreak Arya once again? That's the attempt, going for the cutback and Arya blocking off the line. But the line opens up right here. Tijil Rao going on the inside once again for the race lead. They can be swapping it out in the cows come home. This is never ever going to end. To the point where I feel that it just matters who is going to be first heading out of the final corner. It's all about that. They can swap around all they like. It's just the final lap that matters. 2 laps to go. Things are going to get hectic here.
This is certainly heavy metal racing between these two, Arya Singh and Tijil Rao. Now Tijil on the inside, car number 12, as you can see, now takes the lead again. Arya in second, Diljit TS, he's got the best seat in the house, I can say. Everything is happening in front of them. The action for the first and second unfolding in front of him. And despite all of that, he's still in a chance with the first place for himself as well. And that's the beauty. Now, can any of these make a move? Going slightly wide was Tejal, but holding a good line, not allowing Arya Singh to pass by as we're into lap number 14. Final lap to come after this one as they come through the final corner. Again now going slightly wide, Arya there, but using the slipstream right behind each other. Can on this corner anyone take the lead away from Tejal? It seems it has. In fact, it's Diljit TS who's done it. Diljit TS on the first corner of the final lap. He has taken the lead away. Can he maintain that advantage? At the moment, it seems he can. Diljit TS waited for his time. Like you said, if I were Tejal's coach, I'd tell him, wait, you've got 4 laps to go. Diljit TS waited till the final lap to make his move, and he's done it rather successfully. He's now leading the pack with Tejal and Arya right behind him.
Wait for it. Arya Singh on the grass, sliding all the way through in the battle for P1. Diljit is also losing grip with his rubber. This is the chance for Tejal Rao to make a move, and so he will down the inside line on the last lap, getting the position back on, but it's not done yet, folks. We still have a few more corners left to go. All that matters is the one who finishes first on the finish line, and it's still left. How patient is Arya? How aggressive is he going to be? On the outside, Diljit is fighting hard. This will give Tejal some breathing space, Karthik.
Well, absolutely, but oh no, breaking a little hard, and that's given Arya Singh the advantage to move into second. Diljit TS has dropped down to third. Tejal Rao is leading the race, and that's it. It's Tejal Rao who's your race winner, followed by Arya Singh and Diljit TS, who did ever so well to take the race lead on the first corner of the final lap. Eventually has to settle for third. Afzal Riaz would be a relieved man, but he would be very happy as well. It's a dark dawn, 1, 2, 3, and then you've got Ruhan Alva, who did ever so well to finish fourth. Vishwas Vijayaraj coming in fifth. Ragul Rangasamy finishing sixth as far as the top 6 are concerned. Brilliant racing. Forget about being teammates, forget about being friends, because when you're on the track, it's every man for himself. Right then, we're at the prize distribution ceremony. We've got Hari Singh, also known as the Gypsy King, a former multiple-time national rallying champion on the stage along with the winners. It's Diljit TS who has to settle for third, Arya Singh, who's just come up on the stage in second, and that's your race winner on the screen, the young Tejal Rao. Terrific performance from both, in fact, all 3 of them. At one point, they all were leading the race. Diljit has started from P1, but unfortunately has to settle for 3. That's the smile we were talking about at the start of the race. He's always got a smile on his face. Arya Singh will be a little bit disappointed by finishing second, but well, some good points to start off the weekend. He will be delighted, young Tejal Rao. He's the race winner, and it's a dark dawn, 1, 2, 3. Afzal Riaz will be a delighted man with his boys occupying the podium. Tejal Rao starting off the weekend the way he wanted. And that's the Constructors' Trophy as well, going to Dark Dawn. Mr. Hari Singh doing the honors there.
Diljit, P3 in the first race of the season. On the results front, it looks tricky, but my God, you drove an incredible race. That move around the outside where you got 2 cars in one, mind-blowing, man.
Yeah, I was just waiting for these two to fight it out, and probably they might make some mistakes. I was just being very calm and relaxed for them to, probably not to make mistakes, but then I was just waiting for my opportunity to overtake them. So then Tejal got Arya's toe, and then I was getting both their toes, and then I just thought, okay, I'll just go inside. And yeah, I mean, I was able to hold my position, but then I compared to their cars, like my car is like slightly slow on the straight, so they were able to catch me up on the straight. So probably we'll work on it, and we'll be better for the next race today.
I like that you've calmed down finally after this one. Great stuff, man. Good stuff. Awesome. We have now Arya Singh in P2. Has your heartbeat calmed down, my friend?
It was always come throughout the race, surprisingly. But yeah, I trust both of my teammates to go wheel to wheel with them. I mean, with Tijil in the Mickey Mouse, we both went too wide. So I don't think there are many drivers with whom I can do that. So yeah, even Diljit, I think we had an amazing race. After the first safety car, I thought I have a little bit of breathing space. I thought I had it in the back, but luck sometimes isn't always on the way. But amazing race. I'm really happy with the results, and yeah, overall very happy with the racing.
If this is how the championship is going to go all the way through, this sounds like a great plan, no?
Of course, amazing thing.
No, great stuff. Congrats, man. Good job. And we have the winner itself, Tijil Rao. Well, show the world the beautiful trophy, man. That's more like it. What does it feel like, dude? You were making some mad moves over there. So late in underbraking, so daring rather, so ballsy with the moves as well. What does it feel like?
Yeah, I guess we started from P2. I knew I had the pace to be competing hard this weekend, but what a race. I mean, it went down till the last lap, the last corner. We had no clue. I think the last lap had, three changes of positions or 4 changes of the leader. And yeah, absolutely amazing racing from all of my teammates. And I mean, these are the days that we live for. Absolutely amazing race, and I'm so thankful for Dark Dawn Racing for providing the car for all of us. And I'd like to dedicate this win to Shreyas Harish, the kid who lost his life in a motorcycle accident during the year. And this one's for you, kid. This one's for you. We're going to make you proud.
Great job, Tijil. Great stuff. And now we throw back to Karthik in the comms box.
It's time to break free. Break away from the routine. To the greens. And get lost in the world within. To steer through. To stop. Start again. Go forth. Shed your inhibitions and just let it all go. With JK Tyre's Ranger 80, made of tough, made for adventure. For the ones who are wide at heart. JK Tyre, total control.
The 26th edition of the JK Tyre-FMSCI National Racing Championship. We're in Coimbatore for round 1. And race 3 of the day is the JK Tyre presents Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup 2023. It will be a 10-lap race where we'll have 25 bikers racing and trying to get that win. Of the grid of 25, we'll have 10 professionals and 15 amateurs. That's how the grid looks like. It's Jagdish Nagarajan at P1, Anand at P2, Abhishek Vasudev at P3, Ullas Nanda at P4, Surya PM at P5, Vignesh Gaur at P6, Rajkumar at P7, Mohammad Samrul Zubair at P8. We got Kayan Zubin Patel at P9, Rohan at P10, Bharat Balan at P11, Prabhu at P12. We got Uday Prakash at P13, Kaushik Ganesan at P14, Pradeep starting at P15. Then you got Varun Patel at P16, Seshadri at P17, Sriram S at P18, Revadhar at P19, Ashish Rumta starting at P20, followed by Akhil Krishna JS at P21. P22 will be Jayant Pratipati, Deepak Kumar will be at P23, and Rajeshwaran at P24, while Venkatesan Ayyappan will start way back at P25. Before we head to the start of the race, very quickly we'll go towards the racetrack where we have Saumil catching up with the riders.
Race 1, round 1 of the Royal Enfield GTR 650 Cup. We're here with the pole setter Jagadish. Mate, your first race in the championship as well, and you've taken pole. What was qualifying like for you personally?
It was really exciting in qualifying because I had few plans for qualifying set. I think I executed it really well. So I got my pole position for the first race of GT Cup this year.
And there are so many great riders behind you as well. What can we expect from your riding style? How aggressive are you normally? And what's on your mind before the race?
I think I'm not really aggressive rider, but I plan my moves accordingly. Every other rider's idea is to take the checkered flag first. I'm also here for that. I'm fighting for that.
And who do you think will be your biggest competitor in the race?
I think top 5 will be the biggest competitors. I think they're also experienced riders, and there are few riders from last year's batch as well.
So they will be the, competition for me.
Stay safe. All the best, mate. Have a good one. We're here with the rider in P2, Anand. Anand, firstly, great qualifying. Many congratulations on that. What's going on in your mind before the first race of the season?
Actually, this is my first season. I tried my best. I did my best in the qualify, so I am second. In the race, I tried to push hard so that I can finish first. So I'm going to enjoy the race. That's it.
Hopefully it goes well. All the best. And now back to Karthik.
Right then, we're ready, moments away, just a minute away, in fact, from the start of the JK Tyre presents Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup 2023. First race of this category, and let me remind you, this is a Pro-Am series where you'll have professionals as well as amateurs part of the same grid in this race. 25 bikers will be up ahead against each other. Last season's winners, Sudhir Sudhakar, along with Anish Damodar Shetty and Alvin Xavier, not part of the setup this time round as the riders go for the formation lap. Although Abhishek Vasudev, who was part of the Endurance League Cup winning team, he is one of those who is taking part in the Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup as a professional. Abhishek, the lad from Bangalore. We talk about Abhishek, he will be starting at P3. Jagdish Nagarajan, what a qualifying he had. He starts at P1, talking about the qualifying times. Jagdish had a minute 17.013, followed by Anand, who was a 1 minute 17.815, and Abhishek Vasudev 1 minute 17.891. So about 0.802. The difference between Jagdish and Anand. Jagdish comes from Bangalore. We got a local lad here as well, Rohan from Coimbatore, along with Uday Prakash as well. And we got Sriram S, who starts at P18, also from Coimbatore. So 10 professionals and 15 amateurs on the same grid. Remember, last season's amateur category winner, Surya PM, has now graduated to the professionals category. Remember, Surya came first in the amateur category, got 85 points, while Rajkumar finished third in the amateur category last season with 44 points. He has also now graduated up to the professional level. Rajkumar, another lad from Coimbatore, the local lad. There'll be a lot of hopes from him as the formation lap is over. So we're moments away from the start. As you can see, it's very windy conditions here in Coimbatore. Surya PM starts at P5. We'll keep an eye out for him as well. He is in bike number 2. Off they go. It's a very, very good start there for Jagdish Nagarajan, who started at P1. You can see bike number 2 of Surya as well, making a very good start. But it is, at the moment, Jagdish Nagarajan who's leading the pack. And oh my word, straight away, corner 1, there's a big incident. Skidding on that turn. Both of them raise their hands to acknowledge that they're both okay. One of the riders has just rushed off the track while the second one is trying to get his bike up. This is what happened coming in that corner. Bike number 7, and that's Rajkumar, the local lad, just slipping, and another bike colliding with him. It seems that is bike number 2, if I'm not wrong, and that is Surya PM, the champion from the amateur category last season. So that's the end, it seems, of the race for Rajkumar and Surya. Yes, it is Surya who's limping away, as you can see. Gets into one of the cars, while bike number 7, Rajkumar, is able to get up. He's able to get his bike up as well. Well, what a start, what a turn of events. Straight away at corner 1 at the JK Tyre presents Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup, and the race has been red flagged. Joining me now in the commentary box is Saumil Arora, back from his track duties. Well, not the start we were expecting.
No, absolutely not. It's firstly great to see that both the riders are okay, but let's look at how this melee happened. Rajkumar dipping with the front, heading into turn number 1. It happens. It's a common mistake to make. Even though Rajkumar is a very experienced rider who's been racing since 2015, he just lost the front. And when you're in that kerfuffle, when there's so many riders into one corner, someone has got to be taken out, right? You can't go down alone. Unfortunately for him, Surya PM was the one who got taken out with it. The great thing is, all the riders are okay. The bad thing is the bike isn't. Look at Surya PM's clip-ons. They're facing the wrong way down. That bike will take a while to get repaired, and that's really unfortunate. But touch wood, rider okay. Take a look at him. Number 7 drops it a little bit at the front, and there's nothing Surya can do. And what can he do there? He can't go straight on into the dirt. He just has to take the fall. And I'm glad. I'm glad that they're both all right.
Absolutely. Both of them very quickly onto their feet and trying to get off the track. Eventually, well, it was, as Somil said, taking that first corner, first left, and just that little bit of dip, a little bit of skid, and Surya, well, he certainly just could not do anything about that. But Jagdishan Nagarajan had a good start. He was well ahead of everyone. That's Jagdishan bike number 1. And this will be very interesting now. Surya PM. Well, obviously you said there's a lot of damage to the bike. You can see the clip-ons. You can see the front visor as well of the bike broken. So that'll need some repairing as well. Hopefully it should be okay for tomorrow's race for Surya. And also obviously for Rajkumar as well.
It's interesting you mentioned that because Surya has been trying to get as much momentum as possible in all the practice sessions, to the point where in one of the practice sessions he actually sat back after putting in a good lap because he wanted to conserve his tires for a race like this one. He knows how much these points are valuable, and so something like this is a big dent, especially considering how riders like Jagdish and Anand are really putting their A game to the test over here. So tough luck for him. Unfortunately, it's a tricky start, but also on Rajkumar's error. Let's not forget, ladies and gentlemen, no ABS, no TC on these bikes. Absolutely raw as it gets. So those errors, so tricky in those moments.
Windy conditions in Coimbatore at the Karibota Speedway. We'll be talking about this, close to about 14 to 15 kilometers per hour. That's the speed of the wind blowing across the racetrack. Just a quick reminder, the race has been red flagged, so it will start again. We've already lost Surya PM and Rajkumar for this race. Hopefully they'll be back for tomorrow. There's a little incident on the first corner, and that was the end of the race for both of them. Surya, once again reminding you, he was the champion of the amateur category last season with 85 points. And while in the professionals category, Alvin Xavier was the winner, followed by Anish Damodar Shetty, and Sudhir Sudhakar came in third. 49 points for Alvin Xavier, 42 for Anish, and 34 for Sudhir Sudhakar. None of them are here in this round at the moment, and we have a couple of amateurs who graduated from the amateur category onto the professionals. As you can see, the position in the grid number 5 is empty. That was Surya PM, and along with him, Rajkumar, grid number 7, also empty. So that's the end of the race for both of them. Now, talking about these bikes, the 648cc parallel twin engines, these are mega heavy bikes, close to about 180 to 200 kilograms. And if you take a fall, you know, as you said, very glad that both of them were fine, because these bikes can cause a bit of damage because they are very heavy. Although slight modifications done to get them for racing. The exhaust has been lifted a little bit, along with a couple of more modifications. It will, again, because it was red flagged, it will be a 10-lap race, and we will have the restart in about 3 minutes now.
I love this bike. You should just be here in Coimbatore, honestly, to witness it. At home, there's a lot that you can see that adds to its charm, but what you can hear at the circuit is something that you have to experience in person, because when they roar, my God, it can leave you A, deaf, and be absolutely excited, because there's nothing quite like witnessing a Royal Enfield go racing. It's a Royal Enfield, guys. Even though it might be a Continental GT, even though it might have quite a fair bit of racing history in the past, it's still an Enfield. And so watching these riders tame this 185 kg bike is quite something. It weighs a lot, but it can give you so much momentum if you get it right, which is what is so amazing to watch. just how can they tackle this Coimbatore circuit to get the best lap times off. And remember, in qualifying, they were doing 1 minute 17 second lap times. That is genuinely very, very impressive, all things considered. So, speaks a lot about the talent of the riders and also the bike. But on the restart, it's also going to be that mental game, Karthik. Can they survive A again? And also B, make sure that they get a good run off. Because so many riders coming behind you, there's a lot that can potentially go wrong.
And now, in front of Mohammed Samrul Zubair, there's an empty spot, so he can have a right go. Same for Rohanar, who starts at P10 with no Rajkumar in P7. He's got a clear road ahead of him. And once again, eyes will be on Jagdish Nagarajan, how he starts as well. Obviously, there will be a formation lap where obviously you mean there's no overtaking allowed. Talking about the Royal Enfield and the slight modification, we spoke about the exhaust. There has been about stiffening of the suspension as well and shedding 24 kgs, fitting a sleek race fairing. This is what's made these bikes competition ready and also makes it manageable for novice as well as potentially highly capable racers as well.
And 14 kilos of those 24 have just come from the exhaust. 14 kilos flat. They've taken out and put a stainless steel exhaust right here, which really adds up to the performance as well. Roughly around 10 to 12% is what the engineers are claiming. And off we go once again for the formation lap. This is where the riders have got to get comfortable. And I can't tell you how the noise is suddenly amplified out here at the Curry Motor Speedway. It suddenly feels like we're in a giant bowl of noise, and it's beautiful noise. That Royal Enfield engine, we've seen it in the Super Meteor, the Continental GT 650R, also in the Interceptor as well. It works. It works so well as a street engine. And the best part, Karthik, that very same engine is being raced on this bike. So if you want to experience part of the thrill, I'm sure the whole bike cannot be brought down to the road, at least part of it can be felt with those ongoing road versions of the Continental GT 650. And that is something that really astounds me, that this is something you can race on Sunday and literally ride back home on Monday as well.
Well, I think that's good, isn't it? You can take it out for a spin and then go to office with the same bike as well. Well, obviously, Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup was introduced in India a couple of seasons ago in 2021, and it was inspired by the purest cycling culture of 1960s. The Continental GT Cup series is obviously, while being ridiculously heavy, it's still fun and safe, and we have multiple victories for the Royal Enfield over the years, in the last 100 years or so, including team wins at the Isle of Man TT, along with the International 6-day trial, 1960s Big Bear Run, and also we had Royal Enfield rider Paul Young win the Wheels and Wave Punks Peak Sprint on the GT 650. And also Curtis Wright came second on his GT60 as well. So certainly no stranger to racing this bike, no stranger to racing Royal Enfield, and this platform gives young Indian racers a very, very good avenue to pursue motorsports and also two-wheeler racing.
We'll talk about the history and all that stuff in a short bit because it's really fascinating and there's so many more things that we all should know about it. But we're ready to go once again, Karthik. The green flag has been waved. In a second, the red flag will be dropped as well. And the action in the GTR 650 Cup will be back. We've already had one start. It didn't quite go very well for Surya PM and also for the home hero as well that we had early on. But crashes are a part of it. Let's make sure that everyone is clean. Jagdish Nagaraj is in P1. And again, we now have more fun battles to watch for all the way through.
So we will be starting. You can see the flag as well. The marshal is struggling to hold on to the flag, and that tells you how windy it is. And obviously that also adds to the challenge for these bikers. We'll have Jagdish start at P1, followed by Anand at P2, and Abhishek Vasudev, who was one of the winners of the Endurance Cup last season.
Yep.
He's now part of the Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup, and he'd be looking to make a mark here as well.
And just take a look at the grid as well. All the riders with the red numbers, the pros. All the ones with the red numbers are amateurs, and the black numbers are the pros. So watch out for the difference in speed and also the techniques. So a lot that can be learned. But it's time to go racing now. All the chatter is over and done with. Let's get to the action at last.
For the second time.
Indeed.
Now off they go once again. A very, very good start here for Jagdish. And in fact, it's a good start for Vignesh Gaur as well. Bike number 17, you can see. Very quickly now moving in from through that first corner. This time no incident as of yet. Going through corner number 2. And that is a good and a clean start here. Jagdishan maintains his position at the top. He is at P1. Started at P1. He's leading the race. And now we'll just have to wait and watch where are the amateurs at. Jagdishan, remember, in bike number 1. And that's bike number 8 on your screen. That's Shishadri S, the lad from Bangalore. It is bike 1 continuing to lead, followed by bike number 10. And that's Ullas Nanda. Again, another rider from Bangalore. Very good start for Jagdishan. Jagdish, in fact, Jagdish Nagarajan, another Bangalore gentleman. Couple of Bangaloreans leading the way straight away. And it will be interesting to see the first red numbered bike on that track. And it seems it is bike number 17. That's Vignesh Gaur, the lad from Hyderabad. And remember, during qualifying, Vignesh's fastest lap time was deleted as per Appendix 21, serial number 13. It was a slight violation. And despite all of that, Vignesh managed to get a decent position as far as the grid was concerned.
No!
And whoa!
That is a big one. That is an absolute big one. Our main bike, Jagdish Nagaraj, from the lead, has absolutely binned it at turn number 1. The front end locking up. It happens. This bike has no ABS. He was completely in the clean. And then in a snap of a second, in a snap of a finger, it's all gone for him from the race lead. That one will pain Karthik. Not just physically, more mentally, I'd say, because he seems to be okay, which is great. But the fact is, he's dropped it from the lead all on his own, and that is such a tricky one.
And you can see the disappointment in his body language as well. He had opened up a decent lead ahead of Ullas Nanda. And just on that first corner, coming in, braking a little bit too hard, and then just diving in. And that was, that in fact is the end of the race for Jagdish Nagarajan. So we've already lost Jagdish Nagarajan, Surya PM and Rajkumar in the professional category. He will be taken back to the pits. And this is what happened.
It just seems like a loss of concentration at one fine moment because he was turning in the bike a bit too early. Didn't really have the best line as well heading into the corner. And it can happen as a rider. There are moments where sometimes things get broken off. But look at this! Vignesh from the lead, the leading amateur who was leading the race in the overall category, has also gone down at turn number 1. The best of the very best can really lose it right here. It's a tricky bike to manage. And the second time in a row, the leader has lost the race in turn number 1. What's going on here?
Well, it is the curse of the turn. That is what you can call it. Once again, coming in this in a very similar fashion to what we saw when the race was initially started. Then obviously it was red flagged, and then again what we saw with Jagdish Nagarajan is when on that turn, just not able to control, and that's the end of the race for Vignesh Gaur. He was going for the lead, and remember he's one of the amateurs, and he was taking on Ullas Nanda, who's a professional, but in the end, as the end of the race. Ullas Nanda now, bike number 10, as you can see on your screen, is leading. He is followed by a few of his teammates, including Anand R. Anand started at P2, lost some ground, but thanks to a couple of incidents ahead of him, he has regained his position. And bike number 21, that's Mohammad Sumral Zubair. He is in third and leading as far as the amateurs are concerned, and now coming in and trying to make his move to take second position in the overall. As far as Abhishek Vasudev, he is in third at the moment. So it's Ullas Nanda, followed by Anand R and Abhishek Vasudev with regards to the pros. And in fact, in the amateurs, it is none other than Mohammad Sumral Zubair, who is in contention. These are the front four. And while we've got another incident here on the track, it's good to see the biker very quickly on his feet, trying to lift the bike up to get it on with. But it's never easy. I told you it's about 180 odd kilograms. That's Sridham S, the local from Coimbatore, just going in, and that's what happened there. I must have heard a bit. That'll be bruising in the morning, that's for sure.
No, the momentum just really wasn't there. He leaned in a little bit too much. The bike just couldn't carry it through. And Sriram won another rider who's bitten the dust, unfortunately, in this race. But the battle for the lead is immense. They're swapping paint heavily. Ullas Nanda and Anandar for P1 and P2. Both the professionals showing the world why they deserve to be in the top two. Hard, clean racing, but both of them making sure that everything goes on well. Touchwood, no rider has crashed heading into turn one this time out. So that's a great sign once again. But Anand now bringing in the fight. He's known to be one of the calmer riders on the grid. And I wonder how he'll tackle this race, because we've only got 6 more laps to go. The challenge is huge. Ullas Nanda has been fantastic so far this afternoon. Breaking him apart and getting the race win is going to be quite a task for him.
You can draw a few anomalies from here in this race from last season. It was a very similar battle that's going on between Ullas Nanda and Anand right now. That was between Alvin Xavier and Anish Damodar Shetty. And amongst the top, there was one amateur who was pushing, and that was Surya PM last season. And this time it's Mohammad Samrul Zubair. So a few similarities coming in here in the JK Tyre presents Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup. Round 1, race 1 of this category in the 2023 edition. And well, so far we've had 4 riders retire already, including likes of Jagdishan, Surya PM, Raj Kumar, and also Sriram S. But no such problem at the moment for Ullas Nanda and Anand R, who continuing to battle for that top spot. Coming on to that tricky corner 1 once again, this time fairly done and nicely down to corner 2, then onto that back curve, corner 3, no problem as such here. In fact, Abhishek Vasudev has now moved up to second. He's third, in fact, I beg your pardon. He's clocked the fastest lap as Abhishek, 1 minute 17.758 seconds. As far as the amateurs are concerned, it's still the leader is Mohammad Samrul Zubair.
And for context, Abhishek Vasudev's lap time was incredible. Nobody on the track, not even Anandar and Ullas Nanda, have been getting close to it. Anand in P2 was 3/10 slower than Abhishek in P3. And Ullas, well, he was 5/10 slower than that. So what Abhishek Vasudev, the 33-year-old, is achieving at the moment is incredible. The fact that they're all able to keep up with each other cleanly really goes to show how good of riders they are. But one small moment, one small snap of concentration could break things apart. So they've got to be really careful. And now Mohammad Samrul Zubair getting the move past once again. So he's getting past Abhishek Vasudev, constantly reminding the world that he shouldn't quite be in the amateur category. Let's see how he can sustain it. But now we've got a battle for the lead. Anand going down the inside for a bit, going against it now. He realizes that there's not enough line. And that's the thing that you have to do, Karthik. They cannot really change their lines heading into a corner. These bikes are so heavy. Look at this one. Anand making the move with full commitment, getting up into P1. This is what he's waited for quite a while. He saw the line coming, committed to it. Didn't quite go past anywhere at the beginning, but eventually getting past very well.
That's Hari Singh there with a huge smile on his face. And wonderful, wonderful maneuver. But it seems that Ullas Nanda will get his lead back. Breaking a bit late, losing positions once again. It's all happening. And it is Ananda once again who's got the race lead back. Going in a bit too hard. There was Ullas Nanda.
We take a quick look at the stewards for this race, but this is interesting, all the swapping around that's been going about right here. And all this just benefits Anand at the top, because what he needs with 4 laps to go is more momentum, more time to showcase why he's a good rider. And the same for Mohammad Samrul Zubair as well. He can't be afford to be fighting with anyone. He needs more space, more clean laps at the moment.
And one small mistake has cost Ullas a lot. He was in first, and now he's dropped down to, I think, about 4th at the moment. And Mohammad Samrul has moved up to 2nd. Can you imagine? He's an amateur, and he's giving these pros a good run for their money. Abhishek Vasudev in 3rd. Ullas has dropped down to 4th. And Bharat Balan, another one of the amateurs. He is in 5th. That's the race control room, with the officials keeping a keen eye on what's happening around the racetrack. Every inch of the racetrack is covered. Well, as you go on the back straight, coming in once again, Anand R being put under pressure by the amateur, Mohammad Samrul Zubair. Vasudev is in 3rd. Ullas, we'd be dreading that one mistake that he made on the back, going through straight and missing out on that opportunity to take and keep his lead. Keeping a strict vigil on things, keeping close eye on what's happening on the racetrack. The officials in the race control room. Not very far away from where we're seated. In fact, next room is the race control room from the media box. As we come through towards the end of lap number 8, it is Anand who's leading, put under immense pressure by Mohammad Samrul and Abhishek Vasudev. About half a second behind Samrul and Ullas Nanda, another close to a second behind. So it's still anyone's race to win in the 1, 2 and 3 and 4.
And that was a major move right there. Mohammad Samrul Zubair as an amateur getting past Anand, who's bumping his way up to P1. This is brilliant. An amateur versus a pro for the race lead, and Anand showing why the years of experience matter. Yes, he's only been racing for 2 more years than Mohammad, but nevertheless, putting his money where his mouth is and getting P1 back in. And Abhishek Vasudev as well getting back in the fight. This is interesting. For context, Abhishek has been racing for 9 more years than Mohammad Samrul Zubair. This is his opportunity to show where the experience counts. At the moment, Ullas Nanda isn't quite able to catch in, so it's all on these 3 to put up a big show. And I've got to give credit to Mohammad Samrul Zubair. He is keeping his calm so well. He's keeping to his lines. Abhishek is the one who has to go around and maybe take the awkward lines to get past. But Mohammad, my word, he's doing a great job as an amateur. Going wide, taking the risk in that case and opening up the door, but he's confident in his ability. He will be giving away the door though, Karthik. That's going to be a problem heading into turn 1.
And also, the fact that his result doesn't affect the standing as far as the amateurs are concerned and the pros are concerned.
Yep.
As far as the pro category is concerned, it's Anand followed by Abhishek and then Ullas. While in the amateurs, it's Mohammad Samrul who's far ahead, way ahead. He's then followed by Bharat Balan, who's light years behind. So it's not about that he will get to the top of the podium if he finishes first. He's anyways top of the podium in the amateur category, but the way he's racing, the way he's challenging Anand for that top spot, the overall top spot, is very heartening to see. And it tells you that this young lad, he's going to make, he's got a very bright future ahead of him and might just follow Surya's footsteps into the professional category maybe next season or the season after.
Which is what we love to see, right? Riders pushing above their limits quite a fair bit. And this is amazing. Battles are going to be there all the way through. We're getting to see some more really fun fights. This is Varun Patil up against Seshadri S. And this, folks, is for P9 overall. Things are going to be fun right here. But we've got to get our attention back to the leaders because Anand, ever since he's got a little bit more space, a little bit more calmness, he has dominated. Coming across the final corner, what a ride. Amidst all the chaos, Anandar taking the win.
There's Anand who started at P1, takes the checkered flag, followed by Abhishek Vasudev, and then you have Ullas Nanda finishing 3rd. And these are the results from the pro category. And as far as the amateurs are concerned, it is Mohammad Samrul Zubair who takes the top spot at the podium. He's followed by Bharat Balan, and in 3rd will be, if I'm correct, I think it might be Jayant Pradipati. We'll have to wait for the confirmation coming in. But what a race we've just had. A tremendous from Anand to go on and take the checkered flag. We had early incidents where was the end of the race for Jagdish, and it was the end of the race for Surya PM. It was the end of the race for Sriram S along with Raj Kumar. But what a race we've just witnessed. Terrific. And to see an amateur going on tire to tire, challenging one of the pros is so heartening to see. And that tells you the future is certainly very, very bright for this young man, Mohammad Samrul Zubair. Started at P8 overall and went on to finish second overall. First, obviously, in his amateur category, and that's the race winner. As far as the pro category is concerned, bike number 4, Anand R, the lad from Chennai. He's gone on to take the checkered flag and start the weekend off in the JK Tyre presents Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup with a win. Full points for him. That's the overall winners as far as this race is concerned. Anand R, Mohammad Samrul Zubair and Abhishek Vasudev. However, Mohammad Samrul will be in the amateurs category. So for the pros, it's Anand R, Abhishek Vasudev and Ullas Nanda. Tremendous race. We've had obviously a couple of incidents happening, but overall it was very, very entertaining. Let's quickly take you through the highlights of what's just transpired here in the Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup Race 1 in this category. It was Jagdishan and Anandar who had started at P1. It was a very good start for Jagdishan, also for Anand and Abhishek Vasudev. Although corner number 1, there you see, that was bike number 7 of Rajkumar just skidding and slipping, and collateral damage was Surya PM, who was right behind him, just couldn't do anything. And there you see a couple of bikes straight away out of action, but it was good to see both of them up on their feet rather quickly, checking on each other's wellness, well-being. And then the race obviously had to be red flagged. That's when they all lined up once again. That was Surya's bike, Surya PM, the champion in the amateurs category last season. After the restart, once again, Jagdishan had a very, very good start. He seems he's got working with his bike so well. And there you see, tremendous start for him. Tremendous start, in fact, for Vignesh Gaur as well in bike number 17. He was one of the amateurs, there you see. And then coming in through that first corner, second corner, and no problem as such there. But Jagdish Nagarajan had a tremendous start. He was closely followed by Ullas Nanda and also likes of Anand and Abhishek Vasudev. But big moves were made by Mohammad Samrul Zubair in the amateurs category. Remember, he started at P8, very quickly moved up the order and showed why he is one of the amateurs that you'll have to keep a keen eye on. Coming in there, that was the end of the race for Jagdish Nagarajan, coming in too hard, braking too hard and losing the balance, skidding off the bike. The flag that came out, but not for too long. Continued with the race, and those couple of incidents allowed Ullas Nanda to take the lead. That was Vignesh Gaur. He was one of the amateurs who was leading. He was having a very good race, putting a lot of pressure on the pros, but in the end, just could not hold on. And that battle started between Anand R and Ullas Nanda. Both of them were going tie to tie. That was the end of the race for Sriram S, another one of the amateurs, the lad from Coimbatore, the local boy. But no such problem was happening apart from, obviously, the relentless pressure from Anand. No problem for Ullas Nanda. Although, it was that one bit of mistake that cost him. You can see bike number 21 in 4th position at the moment. That was of Mohammad Samrul Zubair. Despite being an amateur, he's giving the pros a good run for their money. In fact, from 4th, by this time it moved up to 3rd now as the battle for 1st and 2nd continued. That's where Anand made his move, coming in on the inside, taking the race lead away from Ullas Nanda. But Ullas once again was going tire to tire, and on the inside on that turn, coming in, going slightly wide there was Ullas Nanda, and that allowed Anand as well as Mohammad Samrul to move ahead. And not just that, in fact, it also allowed Abhishek Vasudev to steal 3rd position, and Ullas Nanda dropped down to 4th. Although 3rd in the pro category, overall, he dropped down to 4th. But what a race by this young man, bike number 21, Mohammad Samrul. I keep repeating it, he's an amateur, but he's having a right go at the pros. And in fact, he could have won the race as well had it not been for Anand and his brilliant biking skills. That's where he tried to make his move, but Anand showing the years of experience and closing on that line, keeping the lead with himself. That's the overall read. But commendable effort here coming in from Mohammad Samrul. Brilliant. That certainly was brilliant. Although Anand and Abhishek Vasudev along with Ullas Nanda, they'll be very, very happy with the result. Ullas might just be a tad bit disappointed because he was leading, but at the end he had to let it go. Anand coming up with the checkered flag. Now moving on to the prize distribution ceremony. In the amateurs category, it was Bharat Balan who came in second. We've got Vaibhav Sharma there on the stage for the prize distribution ceremony. And Uday Prakash took the third position in the amateurs. So first we'll go ahead with the amateurs prize distribution. Coming in third was Uday Prakash S, the local lad from Coimbatore. Bharat Balan from Bangalore coming in second. And your race winner, Mohammad Samrul Zubair, the lad from Hyderabad, taking the top spot on the podium. So your winners in the amateur category, it's Mohammad Samrul, Bharat Balan and Uday Prakash.
Bharat Balan from Bangalore. Well done, Bharat. The winner takes it all, and this guy is a talent to watch out for. Samrul Zubair, copper number 21. Well done indeed.
You can see Vaibhav Sharma there from the RE contingent handing over the trophies to these young bikers from the amateur category. Once again, reiterating your 1, 2, 3, Mohammad Samrul, Bharat Balan and Uday Prakash.
Mr. SP Batrina to please come forward. A man who requires no introduction, from the Isle of Man to the man who's really fond of bikes to the racing in the Batras circuit. He's done it all. And what a mentor to find when you are getting the Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup. So Mr. SP Batrina will come forward on stage.
Now we'll move on to the professional category. Remember, it is a Pro-Am circuit with professionals, 10 professionals and 15 amateurs being part of the same grid. Coming in as the second runner-up, Ullas Nanda. Ullas will be a tad bit disappointed because he was doing very well. He was the race leader, but in the end, one small mistake and he fell from first back down to fourth in the overall category. That's Abhishek Vasudev. He was the champion of the Endurance League, one part of the team last season. He's moved up to the Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup, has done a good job coming in second. And your race winner, Anand R. Tremendous from him, despite a lot of pressure coming in from Mohammad Samrul. He kept his cool, showed his experience and went on to win the race. So very quickly confirming your 1, 2 and 3 in the professional category of the JK Tyre presents Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup. It is Anand R who takes the top position at the podium, followed by Abhishek Vasudev, and Ullasnanda has to stay content with third position on the podium. A race full of drama, full of chase, full of action, full of entertainment. And after 10 laps, initially a red flag as well, we have our winners. Just to confirm, in the pro category, Anand R, Abhishek Vasudevan and Ullas Nanda, your winners. While in the amateurs category, it was Mohammad Samrul Zubair, followed by Bharat Balan and Uday Prakash S. A word of praise certainly for Mohammad Samrul Zubair. Was an amateur and finished second overall. Very quickly, we'll go towards the presentation area where we've got Somil catching up with the race winners.
Ullas, P3 in your category. Many congratulations firstly. Your thoughts on the race. How do you feel?
Sri Chamundeshwari Kupa, first podium. So I don't like to celebrate, as we know our dearest race recently passed away. So this is for him. So yeah, I made a couple of mistakes. I need to improve in the mid race. So I look forward and I'll improve. But I really felt sorry for Jagdish, my brother from Bangalore. He unfortunately had a crash in front of me. Next race, we're going to fight. Yeah,
Congrats, man. Great stuff. We should now also move towards the rider in P2. We'll have Anand Vasudev here in a second. Great stuff, man. Good ride. What a race that was made. P2 eventually. The battles were insane. What are your thoughts on the race?
Oof, quite an intense race. Whatever SP left me with on the grid, finished the race, was ringing in my mind, and I was taking it easy for the first 6 laps for sure. And I'm glad I did that because I think I really saved some lives that's just slid in front of my eyes, man. And I missed their neck by this much, their head by this much, 2-3 riders just going out. I'm glad I could save those crashes and not run over them. Yeah. And then I started gunning it. Ullas was really fast. He was carrying a lot of place, but all over the place, man. And he's a light guy. I'm quite a heavy guy compared to him. So when I did really make a move on him, it was a hard move. I did exit the last corner, taking a defensive line and not, definitely not giving him my slipstream because he's a light guy. He's already light, man. Push it on the corners. And to clock the fastest lap gives me the affirmation that I got it going good for tomorrow. I just hope I haven't eaten enough of the tires. The kind of rider that I am, I tend to eat a lot of tires. And man, I just hope she has enough grip for tomorrow's race. We're going for first place tomorrow.
Fingers crossed, man. Great job. We should now throw back to Karthik in the comms box.
Right then, the first race is out of the way, and now we're into round 1, race number 2, and that's the JK Tyre Novice Cup. And this promises to be another exciting race. We had a thriller of a race to start off the weekend on the 26th JK Tyre-FMSCI National Racing Championship, and now we will have 23 young racers fighting it out. That's the grid. Very quickly, we'll talk you through. There's Joel Joseph at P1, Aman Nagdev at P2, Arjun Nair at P3, Nithyam McPherson at P4, Sai Shiva at P6, Navneet Burani at P6. It is Adit Parashar at P7, Liron Jaden Samuels at P8, Abhay at P9, Ashi Hanspal, the young 15-year-old girl from Mumbai at P10. Then we've got Jigar Muni at P11, Jamie at P12, Kridashu at P13, Anvay Hemrajani at P14, Sachin Santosh at P15, Sivesh at P16, Mohammad Anas at P17, Priyanka Vijay at P18, Kshitij at P19, Suryanarayanan at P20, followed by Aditya Topo, Senajit Raghu and Avni at P21, 22 and 23 respectively.
We're on the grid right here for the Novice Cup. We've got the pole sitter Joel Joseph with us. Joel, just a minute to go before the race goes on. What goes on in your head?
It'll be completely about racing and other drivers which will be behind me and trying to overtake me. And my aim will be to try and defend and finish in first itself for the race.
All the very best for that, man. Have a good one. Joel Joseph from GTS. We have to go to Karthik in the commentary box because this is going to be a fun race.
Thank you, Somil. Now then, we're ready for the second race of round one. That is the JK Tyre Novice Cup. 10 laps in this race. We've got 23 young racers ready to fight it out and start this category in a flying manner. We had a tremendous start to the weekend with the LGB Formula 4. It was a tire-to-tire race. Exciting is an understatement. Thrilling is an understatement for that race, and we're hoping more of the same, please. A few young racers we'd like to keep an eye out on. That'll be Joel Joseph, who starts at P1, Aman Nagdev at P2. Along with him, you've got Navneet Burani at P6, as well as Adit Parashar at P7. Starting way back at P14, Anvay Hemrajani is also one that we'd like to keep an eye out. Interestingly, we've got 3 female drivers competing in this race. A young 15-year-old from Mumbai in her M Sport, Ashi Hanspal, is also here, along with the likes of Priyanka Vijay in her Ahura racing car from Bangalore, and Avni Veeramaneni from Hyderabad, also in her Ahura racing car. So a couple of women in Ahura, one in M Sport. 3 of the 23 are females in this race, and that certainly adds to the excitement of this category. 10 laps of the 2.3 kilometer long Curry Motor Speedway. Being the Novice Cup category, we'll have keep a keen eye on that first corner, corner number 1. That's where a lot of drama, a lot of incidents happen. Hopefully, not this time around. We will have a clean race, with although we're moments away from the start. We'll have a formation lap as always, and followed by the formation lap, we will have 10 laps of racing action. Off they go for the formation lap. On the right of your screen, you can see the flags, and that tells you how breezy, how windy it is here at the Curry Motor Speedway. Just trying to get their tires warmed up, these young racers. And this is once again going to be another thrilling race. It was brilliant to watch the first one where Dark Dawn dominated, but now it is a different ball game altogether. Into the JK Tyre Novice Cup category. The first race in this category, second race of the weekend, round 1, remember, at the Curry Motor Speedway in Coimbatore. Beautiful setting all around, as we mentioned earlier as well. Mountains in the background, you can see the palm trees, you can see the coconut trees in fact, and also being known as the city of windmills. You've got the windmills in the background. That's the aerial view, the bird's eye view of the Curry Motor Speedway. It was, the layout was changed and renewed a couple of seasons ago, and the earlier length of 2.1 kilometer was increased. A few turns were added. The first one was the corner 1. Earlier it was a longer straight and then on to the right, but now it's first a left, and then you continue right with the going into corner 2, corner 3, and then 4, and on to the back straight. It also changes in the back as well. As you can see on the right of your screen, you can see the racetrack that used to be, and now you can see obviously the new racetrack that we are using. Beautiful setup, wonderful to watch these young racers come out and fight. 3 women racers as well. A 15-year-old young Ashi Hanspal from Mumbai, We'll keep an eye out on her as well, along with Priyanka and Avni. Priyanka from Bangalore, Avni from Hyderabad. So 2 in Ahura and 1 in M Sport. Now talking about Ashi Hanspal, she starts at P10. And we talked about Priyanka, she's at P18, while Avni will start at the back of the grid. Talking about the qualifying times, 118.613 for Joel Joseph, 118.350 for Aman Nagdev, 118.080, marginally missing out on the 117 here, Joel Joseph. And this will be very interesting. We've got at least 9 of these racers, the front 9, to get a 118 in qualifying. So that tells you it is going to be a tight race. It's going to be a cracker of a race as they continue for an extra formation lap. '23 young racers. Last time in this category, it was Kyle Kumran who dominated proceedings, although he did miss round 2 because of his other commitments, but still managed to win. He was the winner in this category with 66 points. Vineet Kumar coming in second with 60 points. I'm talking about the Constructors' Championship. It was DTS Racing, that's owned by DTS Racing Team, that dominated proceedings in this category last season. They'll be hoping, DTS, that should continue this time around as well. They've got Sunir Narayan, Joel Joseph, along with Mohammad Anas Sheikh and Adit Parashar as the 4 in DTS Racing this time around. They were so dominant, DTS, last season that despite they did finish first in the Constructors' Championship, but the gap between them and second, that was M Sport, was 97 points. So that tells you how dominant the DTS team was last season. They'll be hoping that this continues this time round as well. Although, if M Sport and Momentum Motorsports, along with Avalanche, Delta Speeds, Ahura Racing, and Quest Motorsport don't have a thing or two to say about that. We'll get to know very shortly as we're moments away from the start of the JK Tyre Novice Cup race. Joining me from his track duties, now back in the commentary box, Saumil Arora. Welcome back.
Thank you so much, Karthik. And this is one race that I personally cannot wait for, because the Novice Cup, the action here is always tremendous. These are drivers who've only just gotten into racing, some more than others, and they're ready at the start grid. Joel Joseph on pole, Aman Nagdev in second, Arjun Nair in third, and Nathan McPherson in P4. The excitement's building up.
Aman Nagdev is fairly experienced as far as this category is concerned, so that's going to be interesting, the start that he has. Off they go. It's a decent start there for Joel Joseph. It's a decent start for Aman Nagdev as well. The first corner will be very interesting. It is, in fact, Aman Nagdev who's taken the lead straight away coming into corner 1. Joel Joseph dropping down to second. In fact, now he could drop down to third, but now very well done there by Joel on that second turn, corner number 2. But it is a tremendous start from Aman Nagdev. You can see the car number 94, the yellow car that started at P2, is moved up very quickly as a race leader. And now you've also got a couple of Momentum Motorsports joining in the action as well in third and fourth. It's good to see that there's no drama, no incident on corner 1.
Not yet, at least, because the battles are going to be amazing. Nathan McPherson battling with Sai Shiva Sankaran in the middle of that pack for P4, P5. The fun has already begun, but for Aman Nagdev, the start was electric. He genuinely caught out the poles of Joel Joseph over there at the very beginning as well. So even before we got to the timing line, he was up in P1. So not the best start for Joel, but he's fighting back. Look at how close he's already getting. So momentum clearly on Aman's side. But this battle for P1, I get a feeling this is going to be going on for a long, long time today.
Well, certainly this will be. We've got a very, very good start here. Arjun Nair, in fact, has moved up to third. Remember, Arjun started at third, maintained his position, But the change has happened at the top where Joel Joseph has dropped down to second, and Aman Nagdev, who started second, has quickly gone on to take the race lead. 1, 2, 3. Then there's a bit of a gap. That's fourth and Nathan McPherson. Then follow the rest. That's the mid-pack behind them. This is great. Wonderful stuff from Joel Joseph. In fact, if I can say it is Joel Joseph who's wrestled the race lead back from Aman Nagdev. So DTS will be delighted with that, as it is Joel Joseph. Now you can see car number 31 on your screen leading the race, followed by Aman Nagdev. This is the season where Aman Nagdev has to make it count. He has been around for a few seasons, has the experience, has a good car in M Sport, and he certainly would want to get on the podium, get onto a good flying start as far as this season is concerned. Arjun Nair from Momentum, the lad from Bangalore, is in third, car number 18, you can see. To the front three have slightly peeled away from the rest as we come through to the end of yet another lap. And well, that's one of the Ahura racing cars that has gone, but well, luckily it has picked up. It is back on the track, and that was Senajit Raghu, the lad from Bangalore, car number 15, we saw on your screen. Just stalling a bit, but luckily the engine was still running and is able to rejoin the race. The battle now continuing between the first and second, and I have a feeling very quickly they might be running into the back markers, and that will certainly make things very interesting. Somil.
Yes, indeed, because the lap time differences are huge, because this pack is clearly lapping up in the low 19s and the late 1 minute 18s. And so Aman Nagdev once again having to fight off against Arjun Nair. The thing is, these guys are quick. The back markers, they just get into grips with motorsport as well. So the time differences are huge. You can already see how far ahead the top three are as well. So for them, it's a matter of making sure that they just focus on their racing like they are right now. Arjun Nair making a move down the inside of Aman Nagdev. This is interesting. Finally, Arjun getting some momentum on his side, pun intended over there, and getting up into P2. Aman will be wondering, what have I got to do differently here? Because he was lapping faster last time out, but clearly made a mistake, and Arjun has been getting the door opened up, and also he's gone through it as well. So 1, 2, 3, quite a fun battle, this one.
Absolutely, it's Joel Joseph who's leading the race. Arjun Nair has moved up to second. Aman Nagdev has dropped down to third with Nathan McPherson in fourth. Adit Parashar, one of the lads who we had to keep an eye out on, he's moved up to fifth. Remember, Adit started at P7, and Sai Shiva Sankaran is completing the top six. It's terrific as far as Arjun Nair is concerned. Started at third position, had a decent start, did not drop his position, and this is where this happened. Joel Joseph took the race lead, and now coming in on the inside there was Arjun S. Nair to take the second position from Aman Nagdev. And now Arjun Nair, he's not done yet. He's coming in now on the inside to take the race lead. And has he done it? It seems so. He has. He's pushed Joel Joseph down to second. But can he hold on? Going in a little extra fast can cost you a lot. But at the moment, it seems to me he's drawing good lines. But on the inside again, it's Joel Joseph. He's not letting it go. Relentless racing from these front three. And now it is on the inside now for Arjun Nair. And Arjun Nair, it seems, onto the straight, coming to the final corner. He has taken that race lead, so he will be leading the race with the 6 laps to go. It's Arjun Nair, followed by Joel Joseph and Aman Nagdev. Hardly anything to choose between these. And in fact, it's Nathan McPherson also who's joining in the act. And Aman Nagdev, it seems, has dropped down to fourth, with Nathan McPherson moving up to third. This is tremendous from these young kids.
It's a bit of a tactical error from the top three, because Nathan McPherson was lapping way quicker. 1 minute 19s when everyone else is doing 1 minute 21s up ahead of him. The reason? They were squabbling quite like they are right now. Arjun Nair trying to make a move down the inside line. The 18-year-old clearly having a lot more momentum. Is Joel going to be calm in this situation? He is. No lockups, no movements under braking. That is fantastic. And now the Momentum Motorsport cars have got to fight each other, but also with Aman Nagdev, who's getting some rhythm back in. Down the inside for P3 he goes.
And gets his third position back, does Aman Nagdev. This is a terrific battle for second, third and fourth. While Joel Joseph has also been put under pressure. Now on the inside, Nathan McPherson takes away the third back with himself, and Aman now drops down to fourth. And I'm very sure this is not the last time that we are seeing these positions being swapped. Coming in again through that final straight, to the start-finish line for end of yet another lap. Joel Joseph has managed to hang on to his lead. He is leading. Arjun Nair second, and Nathan McPherson, in fact, is now engaged in a battle with Aman Nagdev for third and fourth.
The average age of this top four battle group is just 17, and the kind of racing maturity that they're showing right here is unbelievable. Look at what happens over here. Joel Joseph knowing where his car is faster, taking the rhythm with it, and eventually making a very, very clean move. And full credits to Arjun Nair as well. He is not backing down. He knows where to fight and when to fight, because there were times when the fighting was actually disadvantaging the whole group. Here, he knew it. His positional awareness was fantastic. Joel eventually got past at one point, and the squabbling at the back consistently goes on as well. So I'm amazed by how calm Joel has been so far. Took pole position, dropped it down heading into turn one as well, but nevertheless aware. And the first of the back markers is also here. So this could compound their racing, Karthik.
Oh, absolutely. I think Joel Joseph has got a very, very cool head on his shoulders. As you can see, one of the cars in the Euro Racing dropping out of the frame, just letting the race leaders pass by. Now going wide, Joel Joseph. Is that a mistake that's going to cost him? At the moment, not. And onto the straight, through that start-finish line. And Joel Joseph, once again, gets the lead back. It's been like a yo-yo game. You know, you lead, I lead, you lead, but it doesn't matter. In the end, when the checkered flag, that's where you need to be leading the race. That's see once again there on the replays, going slightly wide. And I think it'd be a tad bit disappointed there, Arjun Nair, not to capitalize on that slightest of errors from Joel Joseph.
I like what Joel's doing right here. He's actually very confident in his abilities. That wider line, he knew is the faster one, and he knew that he'll be faster, even though it would open up the door for Arjun Nair. So that's really great composure. And for Arjun as well, he is right back on it, making a move down the inside line, a slight lockup, but it works. And that's the important part. He's not taking anyone out of the race. He's taking himself up to P1, and that slightly brave, yes, but mostly just confident. I love how these youngsters are going about, but not so much for Nathan. One lockup, hitting the back of Joel Joseph. Joel seems to be okay. Nathan is dropping back big time though. He's up into P4, back down to P4 rather, I should say, and his front wing is missing.
Well, he's lost the nose of his car there, and that's certainly going to affect the aerodynamics, the speed as well, the drag on it. Well, we'll have to wait and watch how does that happen. Now, that's the end of the race, it seems, for Sivesh Selvaratnam of Delta Speeds, car number 26 you saw moments ago on your screen. But the loss of the nose doesn't seem to be affecting him a lot. Nathan McPherson, he's still having a right go there with Aman Nagdev for the third position. And it is Arjun Nair this time round who's leading the race. And this is what had happened. Going through that back parabola, coming in, braking in hard. There was a contact. He's closely followed by his teammate. That's car number 95 on your screen, Nathan McPherson. And despite losing the nose, he's done a terrific job. And that tells you that they don't believe in any kind of aerodynamics. They just know they have to go all out. And as you can see, that's the checkered flag. And it's Arjun Nair who wins the race, closely followed by Nathan McPherson. And it's Joel Joseph who takes the final spot on the podium. Aman Nagdev finishes fourth. He will be a bit disappointed starting at P2. And Sai Shivasankran in fifth. Missed the turn, but that's all right because the race is over. Your race winner, Arjun Nair, just going through the tire barrier, enjoying himself. He's put in a good shift as Arjun Nair to go on and win the race.
What a drive. What a drive. Nathan McPherson as well, not really the best qualifying for him as well, but coming back and fighting in so well. That, Karthik, was a show of concentration. How he's able to build up the race. Him and Arjun, both of them. Amazing stuff from them.
So here are race winners for the JK Tyre Novice Cup category. Race 1 of the category and race 2 of the weekend. Coming in third was Joel Joseph, who started at P1. A tad bit disappointed. Nathan McPherson, the lad from Pune, coming in second. And now, your race winner, Arjun S. Nair. It's a Momentum Motorsports 1-2.
Three minutes to go until the start of race number 2. And then the excitement is just going to pop up to another level. We've got the poles here at Diljit TS once again. Diljit, you were on pole for the first race. Same for this one. How are you feeling heading into this one?
Feel like I made a couple of mistakes in the last race. So I don't want to do the same mistakes on this race as well. So just keeping it like more straight and, you know, focusing more on the winning part this time. Last race was like good. I had a podium, but then I think I could do better.
Well, hopefully we do get that. But a lot of the drivers you're racing up against look up to you quite a fair bit. What's it like racing against all these youngsters who are so much younger than you? Not in, just in numbers at least, not in the energy and spirit.
I mean, it's fun to drive with them. Few of them are my students, so I have taught them, so I know how they drive, and it makes it more confident for me to drive along with them.
No, hopefully you don't have to make more moves down the inside, getting 2 cars as well. All the best, man. Have a good one. That was the pole sitter, Diljit TS. Let's actually go to Arya Singh in P2 very, very quickly. Arya, good time for a chat?
Yeah.
How are you feeling, man?
Same as before, man. Just ready to get racing now.
In the last race, your pace was mind-blowing. You were the only one lapping in the 16s. What's the spirit and strategy going to be like for this one? Because these 2 guys up nearby, they're tough competitors, no?
Yeah, I mean, there is, as I said, there's no particular strategy. I just have to get along with them, and you know, it's going to be a close fight.
Awesome. All the best for this one, mate. Have a good one. We have to throw back to Karthik on the grid because this one, things are going to get fun right here.
Thank you, Somil. So we're ready for race number 4 of the weekend, round 1 of the JK Tyre-FMSCI National Racing Championship, the 26th edition. This is the LGB Formula 4 category. Very quickly, we'll take you through the grid. It's Diljit TS who starts at P1, followed by teammate Arya Singh at P2, Mehul Agarwal also of Dog Dawn P3, Vishwas Vijayaraj at P4, Tijal Rao at P5, Mira Erda at P6, Ruhan Alva at P7, Anushriya Gulati at P8, Raghu Rangasamy at P9, Dhruv Goswami at P10. Then you got Chetan Surneni and Mohit Kumaran in row number 6, Neev Datta P13, Mohit Aryan in P14, Sarosh Shataria starting at P15, Abhinav Reddy at P16, Ashok Lal P17, Yukeshwaran Krishnavelu at P18, while Vikram Saran at P19 and Akshay Kumar starting right at the back of the grid. We had a fantastic race in this category earlier in the day. It was a Dark Dawn 1, 2, 3 and Dark Dawn team principal Afzal Riaz will be hoping that is the exact same result as well in this race. We had Tijal Rao taking the checkered flag, Arya Singh coming in second and Diljit TS finishing third. Throughout that race, there was always one of these 3 who was leading at one point or the other. In fact, at the start of the final round, Diljit TS overtook his teammates to take the lead, but by the end of the lap, that's where it matters, it was Tijal Rao who took the checkered flag ahead of Arya and Diljit. So we're in for another cracker of a race. We have a Dark Dawn 1, 2, 3 as far as the grid is concerned, followed by Vishwas Vijayaraj of Ahura. Then again, Tijal Rao, another Dark Dawn in 5th. And then we have the M Sport of Mira Erda, Ruhan Alva, along with Raghu Rangasamy in P9. We've had a tremendous start to the weekend with some unbelievable racing action. And now we're into race number 4 of the first round of the 26th JK Tyre National Racing Championship. 15 laps of this 2.3 kilometer long circuit. As the formation lap is done, we're ready for the start of the race. Diljit TS will be looking for a good start. He'd be looking to better his position on the podium from 3rd, possibly to top, while Tijal Rao from 5th will look to get back right up. Off they go. It's a very, very good start for the front row in Diljit and Arya Singh. It's a decent start as well for Mira Erda, car number 18 you can see. And Tijal, in fact, Mehul Agarwal and Tijal. So it's a 1, 2, 3, 4 once again very easily for Dark Dawn. And well, what do we have here? It's one of the Ahuras who's met with an incident at the first corner. But we have to wait and see, wait and watch for the confirmation. Which one of the Ahuras was that? See what happened. Coming through that first corner, there was a contact between two Ahuras, and one of them coming off rather bad. You can see the nose of the car also hitting the car of Akshay Kapoor, and that's car number 42 of Sarosh Hataria, the seasoned campaigner. No. And that's the end of the race for Sarosh Hataria. He's the team principal himself,
yes,
and also one of the racers. But as we see, it is Arya Singh who's leading, closely followed by Diljit TS, Mehul, and then we have Tijil Rao. So it's a 1, 2, 3, 4 for Dark Dawn, and as you can see, the yellow flag in the safety car board is out thanks to that collision at the first corner. So the safety car will be deployed. That means no overtaking. It's a 15-lap race. We're done with one, and the second one will be behind the safety car. Joining me now in the commentary box once again, Somil Arora. Somil, well, didn't expect such a thing from a seasoned campaigner in Sarosh, but maybe it's one of the other Ahuras that's clipped him and cost this race.
Imagine hitting your boss at work. Imagine. You'll be fired the next day. The boss will really be thinking all night, like, what have I done to deserve this from one of my subordinates? Obviously, in racing, it's not a clear boss-subordinate relationship. It's somewhat different because you as a driver, of course, you pay for your entry, right? So you're part of the team as well in that regard. But Sarosh is the one who governs the team entirely, make sure that the entire operation goes through well. And one of his teammates, and also one of his drivers who work under him technically, has hit him. And that's a weird dynamic to work around with. So I really don't want to be a part of that debrief meeting at the end of the race weekend where they wonder, buddy, what happened there? Is it all okay? So,
Somil, if that were me, I'd straight away go onto the pit lanes, take my car and go onto the highway and go home. I'm not coming back to the pits again. I'm not coming back for day 2. But well, that's not the option. But it's going to be a very awkward meeting at the end of the day and possibly tomorrow morning as well.
Exactly. I wonder what's being said in that meeting, if Sarosh has to say anything. And we honestly don't know if it's...
And we all know Sarosh is a man who's never short of words.
Yeah, that's true. That's true as well. But mostly the expressions really tell the story very well. But I wonder what that incident was clearly. We should get a replay sometime soon to properly analyze because we don't know if it was Sarosh's fault or his teammates. And we can't quite tell who really got clipped or clipped him as well. So let's not speculate on that. What we should really genuinely speculate on is what's going to happen at the very top. Because once again, Karthik, Arya, Diljit, Mehul and Tijil, all 4 of them in the top 4 with the M Sport guys in the back as well. Meera Ayada, Ruhan Alva and Rahul Rangaswamy. Vishwas Vijayaraj is also not far off. So the proper, let's just say the mainstays of this grid are really back up there for a great fight. So when the restart comes about, which shouldn't be too long now, it will be a ton of fun and Arya Singh will be leading the way through.
Absolutely. We've got Anushya Gulati as well in the mix of things there. Car number 24 in 7th. She's got a couple of M Sport ahead of her and a couple behind her as the safety car has gone back into the pit. So we're back with the racing action. It is Arya Singh leading the way, closely followed by Diljit TS. Now you can see Mehul trying to come in on the outside, followed by Tijil Rao. Tijil Rao, the race winner from earlier in the day. And Mehul himself will want to finish on the podium. He's the only Dark Dawn on the front 4 that didn't get a podium finish. Obviously, you can only have 3.
Yep.
And you have 5 Dark Dawns out there. But it'll be very interesting what Mehul does in this race as well. And coming back to that incident with Sarosh Hataria, obviously when you're at the middle and the back part of that grid, there's a lot of traffic ahead of you on side as well when you're coming towards that first corner. So it could be anyone's fault. It could be, just nobody's fault and how things pan out.
Exactly. Yeah, racing incidents happen quite often, and you can see over here as well, heading into this back section of the circuit, that things get really tight in the back end of the grid. So making mistakes, well, sometimes it's out of your control because there's barely any room at all. So that's a tricky place to be in as a racing driver. but so is this top 4. I want to talk about Mehul Agarwal in the white helmeted number 9 car for a second, because in the last race, he had a bit of an incident with Ruhan Alva, and both of them really didn't come off very well from that. Neither of them getting a podium, neither of them being where they want to be. And so this is a point of redemption for him. Race 1, not so well. Race 2, can Mehul get back in and seal some valuable points? He's already trying to attack Diljit TS, which is a brave thing to do, mind you, but I want to see how his race develops all the way through.
Well, into lap number 4, and Arya Singh's already clocked the fastest lap, 1 minute 16.676 seconds, as he continues to lead the race. Afzal Riaz will be a very, very happy man at the moment. He had a Dark Dawn 1, 2, 3 in the first race. He's got 4 of his boys leading at the moment. And Mira Erda, who started at P6, she's moved up to 5th, followed by Ruhan Alva.
Oh, that's not right. That's not right at all. Mehul Agarwal having a lock-up of sorts, and Tijil Rao is eventually able to go past and get P3. He tried to make a move on Diljit TS for P2, but the Dark Dawns are squabbling amongst each other, and Mehul has come across the worst. Let's take a quick look at the replay, Karthik.
Well, he's coming in, braking a little too late, a little too hard. Also was Tijil, but Tijil had his car under control while Mehul's was swerving, and that allowed Tijil Rao to overtake and move into 3rd. And that is something, that could give Afzal Riaz a mini heart attack, because he's got his own boys, his own team, and they're fighting amongst each other. Obviously, it's an individual sport, but also a team sport. There are tactics involved, so that you can fend off the challenges from anyone who is behind you. But so far, so good. It's only a swap between 3rd and 4th as far as Tijil Rao and Mehul Agarwal are concerned. Arya Singh continues to lead. Diljit TS is in 2nd, followed by Tijil and Mehul. Ruhan Alva, in fact, is now moved up to 5th, moving ahead of Mira Erda. Mira Erda and Anushya Gulati, the 2 women drivers in the LGB Formula 4. 2 women drivers, 2 of the fiercest rivals as far as the teams are concerned in M Sport and Dark Dawn. So I think not very sure they'll be sitting and having dinner together.
And the battle has turned out to be quite a lot of fun as well. We can see Anushriya currently ahead of Mira in the back right there in the battle between the yellow and the silver cars for context. And it is amazing how everyone is able to bring in such a high level of performance. And speaking of a high level of performance, I want to talk about Arya Singh and Diljit TS. The only 2 cars at the moment who are lapping in the 1 minute 16 point of views. So Arya Singh blocking into 1 minute 16.8. Diljit last time out going into the 1 minute 17s, but he's generally been around there. The only other person in the entire grid who's so far in this race gone down to that level has been Mehul, but he made that major error locking up at the back straight. So that's not worked out well for him. The pace is there for sure. Can he get his concentration back up to attack Tijil Rao? And by the way, Tijil Rao, the winner of the first race of the season, he's no soft cookie. Getting past him is going to be a tricky task, and Mehul already in that pursuit, getting onto the outside of the circuit.
Oh, definitely. He's a very skiddy customer. Tijil Rao, you can say, he's obviously had his fair share of challenges. He suffered from a thing called club foot, and he's overcome that. But, it's a story of perseverance, it's a story of hard work, it's a story of commitment as far as Tijil is concerned. And it's always great to see him come out and perform so well. And it's not just that, he's finishing in the podium or he's playing a part in the team to try and fend off the challenge from people who are behind him to make sure that his teammates go ahead. Nothing of that sort. He's there to win it. And that certainly, it's very good to see. But also, what's good to see is the rivalry amongst the teammates, along with the camaraderie. Back for a second, it seemed like Ruhan Alva had made a move on Mehul Agarwal. We'll get that confirmation in a moment as Arya Singh continues to stretch his lead. He is in 1st, and it does seem so. Once again, Ruhan Alva going up head-to-head, challenging Mehul Agarwal, and yes, he has moved ahead. As far as the end of the lap is concerned, Arya Singh leading, Diljit TS 2nd, Tijil Rao 3rd, and Ruhan Alva is now up to 4th, with Mehul Agarwal dropping down to 5th. And in fact, Mira Erda now, she is putting a lot of pressure on Mehul Agarwal, and this will be very interesting to see. We got 15 laps in this race. We're into the 7th one, another 8 to follow after this. So this is going to be a very, very tight finish as far as the 4th, 5th, 6th is concerned. And now there's that contact and the nose of what it seems is Mehul Agarwal's car. Yes, it is Mehul's car that's come off, and he's sandwiched at the moment between the 2 M Sport of Ruhan and Mira.
He's been fighting hard with both the M Sports. So hard to the fact there is no score has also come out here. So things are going downhill, unfortunately, for Mehul once again, who's clearly time and time again showed that he's one of the faster drivers. But incidents like this one, where his nose cone flies off, do not help. Now, where did that happen? It seemed like Ruhan and Mehul were fighting each other in the last sector of the last lap. And so the contact must have ensued. But look at this! A car facing the wrong side. That's dangerous.
Monit Kumar, another Ahura Racing team member whose race ends prematurely. It is Monit, the lad from Chennai, just slips, skids and turns around, as you said, pointing dangerously in the wrong direction. Well, if he was in Gurgaon, he'd probably be challaned by now.
I don't trust the Gurgaon police as much, to be very honest with you. But it seems like we're getting to see some... Is that a... No, I think I'm getting confused slightly. I thought it was a yellow flag for a second, but excuse me for that one. What's happening at the top is Arya Singh is absolutely having a joyride. He put in a 1 minute 16.987, which for context, ladies and gentlemen, is half a second faster than Diljit on the last lap. We told you in the last race that Arya Singh is just dominating. He's carrying momentum like no one else is. The safety cars last time out didn't really help him because Tijil Rao was able to get up closer and then challenge him. But given an open piece of tarmac, given some time, Arya Singh has grabbed the race with both hands completely and is heading his way towards a race win. Still 7 laps to go out at the end of this one, but the performance is unbelievable.
I think what plays in Arya's hands at the moment is that he's got a free field ahead of him. He's got nobody to worry about ahead of him. He's got a free track. He can push as much as he wants. He can brake every time, timely manner as well. And every time you do that, you have a good line, you're braking right, you're pressing forward right as well. That only helps you to get your lap time better.
Yep.
And every time when he goes out, he puts in a better lap time than anyone else. He's only stretching his lead. And well, there it is. That's the battle going on between Mehul and Ruhan Alva. And at the moment, it seems that Ruhan Alva had momentarily lost that position. But he has taken it back with Mehul Agarwal once again, dropping down to 5th. And Ruhan Alva moving up to 4th. Meera Eda, my word, she's having a right crack at Mehul Agarwal. You can see the second yellow car. And there's Raghul Rangasamy as well there, I think, in the mix. Is that Raghul? We'll just get that confirmation. But that's car 27. That's Ruhan Alva. And that's Meera Eda in car 18. Sandwiching Mehul Agarwal in between.
Now this is fun. This is really fun. Mehul has been able to fight his way back and has gotten ahead of Ruhan Alva, who's making a move down the inside. That was late. Mehul saw it coming. He wants to go for the cutback, but there's no room. Look at this now. Meera Eda will also be challenging, getting down 2 cars at one time. She's gotten past Ruhan, not past Mehul, but not Ruhan yet. Teamwork being taken place by M Sport, and Mehul will be furious at this moment in time. You cannot push him that wide without getting him infuriated. That position will not be given back. Meera is trying to go past Ruhan Alva as well. But I just hope that the red mist is not on Mehul's mind right now. He's been playing around with a lot of drivers and they're pushing him past left, right and center. Can he maintain composure? Because Vishwas Vijayaraj has also joined the fight. You can't be aggressive and lose your focus with him. Once he's racing you, you've got to be on your A game, and Mehul suddenly now has to get his focus back again. It's been a tough race for him.
Oh, absolutely. I think the loss of the nose also hasn't helped him a little bit. But I've got to give credit to Meera Eda.
No.
He's just lost it. He's gone wide as Mehul, but he rejoins the racetrack. I'm sure he'll have to give those positions back. Otherwise, there certainly will be a penalty. He's gone straight through the gravel. And yes, it seems that, yes, he will. He's slowed down. He's given those 2 positions back. And now he's rejoining the very same positions there. You see what's happening. He's coming through, just could not brake, could not turn in time. And he just goes through the gravel, goes through the debris, rejoins although ahead of Ruhan Alva and Meera Eda. But as you said, he will be penalized if he didn't do that. So he just lets both Ruhan and Meera pass him by and then rejoins the race to avoid any penalty. There is your race leader, Arya Singh, leader by a comfortable margin. To be honest, it seems like at least a good 4 odd seconds, 4 to 5 seconds in fact, is what he's ahead. And Tijil Rao is moved up to 2nd. Diljit TS, if I'm correct, he's dropped down to 3rd.
Yep.
So something is not right with Diljit's car. Maybe, I met him over lunch and I said, what happened in the last lap? And he said, I'm going to sort my car out.
Yeah, something seems a little bit off. He doesn't quite have as much grip. And at the moment, Diljit is not clocking in the same lap times as all the people around him. He's in the 1 minute 18s. The people ahead of him are in the 1 minute 17s. So things are not going well there. But Mehul Agarwal now trying to attack Vishwas Vijayaraj. This is a big move for him. And instead, Dhruv Goswami goes past. That was a smart move by Dhruv right there. Clocking up the right time for it, waiting for the opportunity and putting his foot under the door when he had to. Is Mehul in the right frame of mind? Is the only thing I'm thinking of at the moment, because he normally isn't like this. He's very precise. He's very calm in his racing. It's been so many incidents that's happened so far that I don't think that he's focusing or able to focus as much as he would do to get his A game out there. So can he take a few deep breaths? Can he get back to doing what he's best at? And that's not right. Akshay Kapoor with a broken rear suspension. That car looks damaged, Karthik. Something big has happened. That has to be a safety car.
Well, that's probably not just the end of the race, it's probably the end of the weekend for Akshay Kapoor, the lad who comes from Patiala. And, well, certainly not good. It was, he started way back at P20, although he must be trying to make a few positions up the grid. And that was the contact that led to that. But once again, you see the drivers putting their hands up, just trying to let the one... them behind know that, well, hang on, there's a yellow flag. There certainly has to be a yellow flag with that kind of an incident with the car stalled on the racetrack. But yes, and the safety car too will be deployed. But once again, I have to give credit to a few people. Obviously, Arya Singh for the commendable performance he's put in, but also Meera Erda, the way she's raced. She's remember, Meera started at P6. She's surrounded by all these big guns. Not that she's not a big gun herself, but you know, she's fought, and she's despite dropping a couple of places, she's moved back up. She's done one better than Mehul. In fact, she's ahead of Vishwas Vijayaraj as well, and she's in fact also challenging Ruhan Alva for the fourth position.
Yep.
Now the safety car is out. We're into lap number 12, so we'll wish that the safety car goes out very, very quickly, and we don't lose much of the racing, that whatever is left. But disappointment for Arya Singh, because he had gotten about a lead of good 6.5 seconds ahead of Tijil Rao. That's gone. So now it's an open race. It's an open race between Arya Singh, Tijil Rao, Diljit TS, Ruhan Alva, Meera Erda. Gives Vishwas Vijayaraj a chance as well to get back in the mix of things for the podium.
Where have we seen this before? Maybe this morning itself, perhaps. Yeah, we did. It was the exact same scenario. Arya Singh leading, putting in lap times that nobody else can, and then Tijil Rao and Diljit TS benefiting from the safety car and using that opportunity very, very wisely. That's what Tijil Rao really did well in the first race. So it's deja vu all over again. But guys and girls, take a look at the back of the grid. In P10, is that Saran Vikram? He was starting in P19. He has not done one lap before this morning. His first laps in the car was the race this morning. He hasn't even qualified, hasn't tested the car, hasn't opened up the engine, hasn't properly checked out the brakes and the gearbox. His first laps were in the race earlier on this morning. And from P19, already up to P10. Saran, what on earth is he?
Well, certainly, you know, the man complementing the machine. That's something we can say. But, you know, I think the safety car is trying to take it as slow as possible, trying to give the recovery crews as much time so that only one lap is lost behind the safety car. And now, seeing that the safety car has picked up a bit of speed, I think it's a clear and a good indication that it might just dive down into the pits, and we will have racing action, high-octane racing action, that is, resuming very, very quickly. And now, the restart is going to be very important. How does Arya Singh approach this? How does Tijil Rao and Diljit approach this? And the lights are off, so that means it will go into the pit lanes, and yes, it does. So now we will see the restart, the strategy. It is certainly a good start for Arya Singh. Tijil Rao right behind him, and so is Diljit TS. Ruhan Alva trying to make the hash of things here and trying to upset the three Dark Dons that are leading, and also is Meera Erda along with the Vishwas Vijayaraj. That's the green flag, and that tells you a couple of laps remaining. This is the penultimate lap now, and trying to come in on the outside was Tijil. Ruhan Alva now putting some pressure on Diljit TS. The young lad Ruhan going up against an experienced camper and a former national champion, Diljit TS. That does tell you about the level of confidence this young boy Ruhan Alva has.
He's tested for the Ferrari Driver Academy as well. He's raced in the Indian Racing League as well. Ruhan Alva has done so much in such a young age. He's known for all these things. He has a reputation of being one of the fastest drivers around. Can he match up to it? And can Tijil Rao also match up to his performance earlier on this morning? Because he's trying as hard as he can to get past Arya Singh, who has left the door open. But why is the main question? Because he knows he has the line heading into the next corner. That's hard racing. That's smart racing from Arya Singh. Can he get some clear air, some clear space so that he can establish all the pace that he's shown so far in this race? I know one thing for a fact. Tijil Rao won't let him. 1 lap to go. This will be hectic.
And while it is Ruhan Alva who's made that move inside, and has he taken the third position away from the GTS? In fact, yes, he has. And Vishwas Vijayaraj along with Mira Erida also trying to make that move, and it seems to be it has worked for them. Diljit TS has dropped way back. It is Arya Singh leading, followed by Tijil Rao. And then you have Ruhan Alva, Vishwas Vijayaraj, Mira Erida, Diljit TS, who started at P1, is dropped down to 6th position with just 1 lap remaining. The battle for first and second is also intensifying, along with the battle for third, fourth, fifth and sixth.
Arya Singh is sliding. Heading out of turn 3, he was sliding. He could not have the car in less control. He is absolutely on the edge, and so is Tijil, who's making a move down the inside. Things are getting tricky. Vishwas also now fighting for P3 with Ruhan Alva. There's contact in the back. Mehul Agarwal locking up. Chaos, madness, pandemonium everywhere. But Vishwas has to defend hard for P3 from a charging Ruhan Alva.
Apart from that, I have a feeling that Saran Vikram might just end up with a few points here. Maybe one. And as you said, that it was his first lap was in the race, no qualifying, no practice. That says a lot, volumes of the talent of the young boy. And now it is at the moment, final corner coming through. It is Arya Singh who leads, Tijil Rao coming in second, Vishwas Vijayaraj is third, Ruhan Alva coming in fourth, Mira Erida will take the 5th place. It'll be very interesting to see where does Mehul and Diljit. In fact, it's Dhruv Goswami who's moved up to 6th now, and followed by Mehul Agarwal. Saran Vikram is in 8th. He might not get a point, but starting from P19 to finishing 8th, that is a terrific effort from the lad from Kolkata. But what a race we've had once again. It's the Dark Dawns, and it's the two in Arya Singh and Tijil Rao who entertained us in the morning, and they made sure they leave the same taste with us in the evening as well. So it is Arya Singh, your race winner, followed by Tijil Rao. This time he'll have to settle for second. And Vishwas Vijayaraj, who started, as far as his position was concerned, 4th, did drop back, but he's gone on to take the 3rd and final spot on the podium. A wonderful race, another race filled with entertainment, excitement, high-speed drama. And in the end, Diljit TS, who started at P1, was in the mix of things till the very last lap, was in the top 3. One small mistake, and he had dropped down way behind. Well, he'll miss out on the podium with Diljit, but he'll be delighted for his teammates. It is Tijil who comes in second, Vishwas Vijayaraj comes in third, but it's Arya Singh who goes on and takes the checkered flag. Arya Singh, Tijil Rao and Vishwas Vijayaraj, your race winners. Going through the mandatory way bridge there. So a couple of disappointing moments in this race, starting with Sarosh Chutaria retiring in the very first round, in the first corner as well, an impact with another Ahura teammate, and that was the end of the race for Sarosh Chutaria. You can see Arya Singh hands on his helmet a moment ago, and that tells you it's a big relief, a big relief for him to go on and take the checkered flag. It's an entertaining race. We're talking about the incidents. Let's just show you the highlights where we'll cover all those incidents in this race. Good start for Diljit TS and Arya Singh, who were in P1 and P2 respectively. In fact, it was a very good start for Mira Erida as well. You can see car number 18 in the mix and Tijil. So it's a 1, 2, 3, 4 once again very easily for Dark Dawn, and well, what do we have? We saw that moments ago. That was the incident where Surosh Hataria had to retire from the race, his car taking a bit of a beating, and the safety car came out straight away. Once the safety car went out, Arya Singh was there, and it was a Dark Dawn 1, 2, 3, 4 with Diljit TS in second, Mehul in the third, and Tijil in fourth, followed by Rahul and Meera. In fact, it was Meera at the moment who was fifth, followed by Ruhan Alva. And then we had Anushriya Gulati in the mix of things as well. And it seemed that there's something wrong with Diljit's car, something not to his liking. Won't say it's something wrong with the car, but maybe something not to his liking, to his tuning. Because with every passing lap, you could see Arya Singh just gaining on him and expanding his lead very, very quickly as the laps went by. You can already see him ahead, and you can already see him being put under pressure by Mehul and also Tijil Rao. This is where Tijil made his move to move into third, leaving Mehul behind in fourth. Ruhan Alva by that time had moved into fifth, dropping Meera Erda down to sixth. Not a great start to the weekend for Raghul Rangasamy, the former champion. Hasn't been on the podium so far. Was very comfortable, very, very comfortable for Arya Singh. That was on the start-finish line, that straight, where Ruhan then challenged Mehul for that spot, for that fourth spot, and he did succeed. In fact, very quickly, that's where the nose of Mehul's car came off, and that's where all the problems started to compile and slowly and steadily started to catch up with Mehul. You can see car number 18 there, that's Meera Erda putting pressure, but once again Mehul doing best, trying to take his position back, but Ruhan Alva holding on to good lines and going on to take that lead back. This is where once again who's trying to come in on the outside was Mehul, but Ruhan Alva did ever so well to block that move and maintain. But now on the outside was Mehul. You know, Mehul is a character who will just not give up, although obviously with the nose not there of his car, there would be some issues when it comes to turning at a high speed, and Meera Erda there taking full advantage. Going extra wide on that occasion was Mehul, and that allowed Meera Erda to move up one place, move up to fifth, with Ruhan Alva there in fourth. There's the pressure from Vishwas Vijayaraj. That's where Vishwas Vijayaraj started to get into the game, started to get going. That's where Mehul left the track, went through the gravel, went through the debris, rejoined the racetrack, but obviously he then allowed two of the M Sport that he'd overtaken during that detour. He allowed them to move past before he rejoined the race. That was the end of the race for Akshay Kapoor. The safety car was once again deployed, and you can look at the speed of the safety car that allowed the recovery crew to very, very quickly clear the track, and only one lap was lost behind the safety car. And into the final lap, it was an intense battle between Arya Singh and Tijil Rao. You can see the smoke blaring out of the back of Tijil's car, in fact, the rear tires there. And that tells you he's going hard, he's braking hard as well. On that occasion, going slightly wide. Diljit TS at the moment was third, but had one small error, and that cost him a lot, cost him dearly, as Arya Singh continued to lead. Vishwas Vijayaraj, in the meantime, had overtaken Meera Erda, had overtaken Ruhan Alva, and in fact had moved up to third, as the battle for third was there between Ruhan and Vishwas Vijayaraj continuing. Vishwas, the driver in the red car, one of the Ahura Racing members. Remember, he finished third last season as far as the Drivers' Championship was concerned. But coming through the final lap, no such problem for Arya Singh. Arya Singh taking the checkered flag. Tijil Rao coming in second, and Vishwas Vijayaraj already celebrating a place on the podium with a third place finish. Now moving on to the prize distribution ceremony. That's Hari Singh, Mr. Hari Singh giving the trophies out. First one in the red suit was Vishwas Vijayaraj of Ahura. That's Tijil Rao taking the first runners-up trophy. And a very relieved Arya Singh will now take the winner's trophy. You can see the smile. You can see the expression. It tells you he's so relieved to be the top of the podium, because he did ever so well in the first race earlier in the day, although he just could not get the better of Tijil Rao on that occasion. But right now, he's done it. And that's Afzal Riaz, team director, team principal of Dark Dawn. He'd be proud of the 6 trophies in the LGB Formula 4 category today. 5 have been captured by Dark Dawn. First race, it was a 1-2-3. Second race, it's a 1-2, followed by Ahura Racing, Vishwas Vijayaraj in third position. It's a great start to the weekend for Dark Dawn. It's a great start to the weekend for both Tijil and Arya Singh. Can't say the same about Diljit TS or Mehul Agarwal for that matter, but we got a couple of races in this category lined up tomorrow as well. So that will be interesting. And will there be a comeback from the likes of Mehul, from the likes of Diljit TS? Can we see a better challenge, a better fight from Ruhan Alva, Rakul Rangasamy, and also Mira Erda as well? This will be very, very interesting, as now the boys from Dark Dawn get together for a moment for the cameraman. Asaf Zarriaz right in the middle of the picture frame.
It's time to break free. Break away from the routine. To the greens. And get lost in the world within. To steer through, to stop. Start again. Go forward. Shed your inhibitions and just let it all go. With JK Tyre's Ranger 80, made of tough, made for adventure. For the ones who are wide at heart. JK Tyre, total control.
डर की बैंड बजाओ तुम अपने रंग दिखाओ डर की बैंड बजाओ तुम अपने रंग दिखाओ just don't hold back keep dancing down the track ooh la 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 leo pump up the volume ooh la 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 leo pump up the cheer
डर की बैंड बजा तू अपने रंग दिखा just don't hold back keep dancing down the track
ooh la 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 la
pump up the volume
ooh la 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 la
pump up the cheer
ooh la 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 leo
pump up the volume
ooh la 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 leo
spread the cheer
Kingfisher, the king of good times.
They've come from the future to change the way we drive.
JK Smart Tire, buddy.
JK Smart Tire, the tire with a brain. The future of driving is here. JK Smart Tire.
Well, then we're ready for the final race of the day. Day one of round one of the JK Tyre-FMSCI National Racing Championship. It's the JK Tyre Novice Cup. Very quickly, we'll take you through the grid. It is Arjun Nair who starts at P1, followed by Aman Nagdev, Nathan McPherson, Joel Joseph. Then you got Sai Shiva in P5, Abhay at P6, Adit Parashar at P7, Navneet Durrani at P8. You got Liron Jaden Samuels at P9, Jigar Muni at P10, Ashi Hanspal at P11, Jamie Shaw at P12, Krishanu Datta at P13, we got Sivesh Selvaratnam at P14, Sachin Santosh at P15, Mohammad Anas at P16, Anvay Himrajani at P17, Priyanka Vijay at P18, Kshitij in P19, followed by Sunu Narayan in P20. That's how the grid will line up. Very quickly, we'll take you across to track side where we have Somil chatting with some of the racers there.
And so the last race of the day, the JK Tyre's Novice Cup that we're having right here. And at the moment, I'm joined by the pole sitter, Arjun Nair. Arjun, firstly, many congratulations on the first race. What's going on in your mind at the moment heading into this one?
I'm happy to be on pole. I'm hoping to keep it consistent, make as few mistakes as possible and bring it home.
Do you normally like a boring race where you're just leading from the front or something where you want more battles? What's your style and preference?
I don't mind as long as I win, so it's honestly fine. Leading a race on my own is hard as well, and like fighting it out with others is hard as well in its own ways. But yeah, as long as the team does well and I manage to do a good result, I'm happy. So hoping for the best and good luck to everyone participating as well.
All the best, man. Have a good one. So that was P1 Arjun Nair. We should go now to Aman Nagdev in P2 for Team M Sport very quickly. Folks, we're now joined by Aman Nagdev in P2 for M Sport. Aman, it's great to see the M Sport crew joining you and giving you all the support. What's it been like training with them and just learning so much about racing from them?
It's been really good. Obviously, we have really experienced coaches and they teach us a lot. They have a lot of experience and just learning from them is really nice because, they've just got so many stories to tell about racing from their old days and everything. And there's tons you can learn from them, honestly.
And buddy, you're only 16 and the kind of racing you're pulling off in the last race was mind-blowing. How did you learn so quickly? What's your secret sauce?
Just have fun.
And what about this race? What's the most exciting part about it? Is it battling with everyone else or the fact that you've got a great position to start from once again?
Position regardless, it's all about, just battling, having fun, racing clean and racing nicely and putting on a show.
Have a good one, mate. All the best. That, folks, was Aman Nagdev in P2 for M Sport. Very quickly, we should also go to Nathan McPherson in P3. He was fantastic in the last one, by the way. Super aggressive. Nathan, good time for a chat. How are you doing, man? Because the last race, has the excitement worn off by any means whatsoever?
No, not really. I just the excitement was too much. Now I have to just keep a calm head for this race. Like it has definitely been my first podium in this category, but yeah, I have to keep a calm head. Let's see if I can do it again this race.
And what have all the coaches said after the last one? Because they must have been super impressed, right, with all the driving.
Yeah, they were just really happy. They were like, obviously we've been top 4 this whole weekend, so I guess you can say they expected it. But yeah, they were definitely happy. My brothers were happy, everyone at home's happy. So yeah, that's all that matters.
And mate, for this one race, what's the most exciting part for you?
For this race, let's say starting on the outside. That's exciting, and let's see if I can do the magic again.
No, hopefully it should be good. Hopefully when you're back in college on Monday, people are super excited as well. All the best for this one, mate. And now we should throw back to Karthik in the comms box.
Thank you, Somil. So we're just about a minute away from the start of this race. The JK Tyre Novice Cup, the second race in this category, and it's the 5th race of the day. Remember, it's day 1 of round 1 of the 26th JK Tyre-FMSCI National Racing Championship 2023. We're in Coimbatore. The sun is still out in all its glory with the winds blowing across the racetrack, and that tells you that's almost perfect conditions for racing. Could have been a little less warmer, that would have been ideal. But we've got a very, very competitive grid lined up with the race winner from the first race in this category earlier in the day, Arjun Nair in pole position, followed by Aman Nagdev. Arjun's teammate Nathan McPherson, who finished second, is now in P3. Joel Joseph, who finished third, is in P4. As off go the drivers for the formation lap. This will be a 10-lap race, unlike the LGB Formula 4, which is a 15-lap race. 10 lap across 2.3 kilometers at the Curry Motor Speedway. Vital to get your tires warmed up and ready for action, as the race will begin very, very shortly. A couple of racers we'll keep an eye out on. Obviously, Arjun Nair, Nathan McPherson, Joel Joseph. Apart from that, Aman Nagdev also. During the little chat he had, Will Somali said, just go out there and have fun. Let's see how does that work for him. We'll keep an eye out on Navneet Burani, Adit Parashar as well, along with the likes of Abhay and Sai Shivasankaran. There are 3 women taking part in this category, but in this race we only have a couple of them. That's Priyanka Vijay, who starts at P18, and the 15-year-old Ashi Hanspal from Mumbai in an M Sport. She starts at P11. So encouraging signs here for women in motorsports as well. We have women participation not just in the Novice Cup, we also have it in the LGB Formula 4 category. And along with that, we have a couple of women participating in the JK Tyre Presents 250 Cup 2023. We'll have that race tomorrow. But talking about the Novice Cup category, it is another big chance now for Arjun Nair, who starts at pole position, to go on and stretch his lead at the top as far as the Drivers' Championship is concerned. Remember, he won the first race and he's starting at pole position. He's got clear track ahead of him. If he can have a good start, he can certainly make most of things here. But Aman Nagdev will certainly have other ideas. So will Joel Joseph. And there are no teammates when you're on the track. Nathan McPherson will be hoping to get one better. Remember, Nathan finished second in that race where Arjun won. So it was a Momentum Motorsport 1-2, followed by Joel Joseph of DTS Racing in third. So we're moments away from the start of the final race of the day. Off they go. It's a decent start for all the front runners. In fact, it's a very good start for Nathan McPherson. We'll have to wait and see how things pan out as we cross the first corner. It is Aman Nagdev who's leading. Yes, he does get the advantage of the first corner as Aman Nagdev. Then you got the 2M Sport and Joel Joseph in the fourth. One of the cars went straight through, just could not make that turn, and it's coming through that tyre barrier to go on and rejoin the racers. A good start without any incident. That's good. Oh well, the commentators curse. It is one of the Auras have stalled, if I'm correct. I just have to, I believe it is Priya Vijay, the car that has stalled. There are only a couple of Aura Racings there, cars there. Priyanka and Avni. Avni is not on the grid, so it is Priyanka Vijay whose car has stalled. The marshals very quickly onto the scene and pushing the car out of the track. Now then, the competition at the helm is tight with Aman Nagdev and Arjun Nair. They're fighting for the top spot, closely followed by Joel Joseph and Nathan McPherson for the third and fourth. And you have, obviously, in the mix of things, Abhay M, who's in car number 45, along with you have Sai Shiva Sankaran. Well, there seems to be a problem there for Nathan McPherson. You saw smoke blaring out of the back of his car. Well, that's just not good news. And that's not news, that's not smoke coming from the tire, it's from the engine. So that's possibly the end of the race there for Nathan McPherson. Well, he was very excited after finishing second. You can see in the from the right of his screen, the car going straight through. That's what had happened. No contact. It's just something's gone wrong with his engine. He's just got both his hands up saying, well, guys, watch out. I can't speed, I can't race, I can't go anywhere. You'll have to maneuver past me. And that, sadly, is the end of Nathan McPherson's race. Now, Joel Joseph battling it out there with Abhay M for the third and fourth spot. As is, well, a bit of problem for Shivesh Selva Ratnam, although he does join the race again. But as we see, it is last race's winner. It is Arjun Nair, who's back on top, who's back leading the race, and guess who's back? It's not Eminem, it's Somil, my friend, who's back in the gong box.
Thank you so much, Karthik. And this has been a chaotic race so far. My heart goes out to Nathan McPherson, who seemed so excited on the grid as well. But the engine blowout is something he has zero control over. So tough times for him after a great start to the season in the first race as well, getting a podium. But now it puts the opportunity straight up into the faces of Arjun Nair and Aman Nagdev. Nathan is a tough competitor. He's not quite in the race right now. So the two of them, can they duke it out against each other for P1? It helps to have less tough opponents taking part in that battle for P1, and they will be relishing it. 1v1 fights, Karthik, they're always the best ones. Arjun and Aman, we saw them go hammer and tongs against each other in the first race. Can they duplicate it once again for this one? And can Joel Joseph in car number 31 also join very quickly? Because at the moment, Abhay M is giving him a tough time for P3.
For a moment, he had dropped down to 5th. Joel Joseph with Sai Shiva and Abhay M ahead of him. Although the front two have just peeled away from the rest of the crew. They are way ahead. In fact, about good 6 to 7 seconds ahead from the pack that's following them. And it is Arjun Nair who comfortably continues to lead. And that's the battle there for 3rd and 4th. It is between Abhay M and Joel Joseph. Joel Joseph has moved into 4th now. He's moved ahead of Sai Shiv Sankaran, who's from Pune. Sai Shiv has dropped down to 5th. But these two have got a battle of their own going on way at the top for 1st and 2nd. Arjun Nair at the moment getting better of Aman Nagdev, although Aman Nagdev, we all know, as Somir had spoken to him on the track, and he said, what's your plan? He just said, just have fun.
Yeah, I love it. I love the simplicity of his mindset. It's really all about going out there and having fun. And for Aman as well, the main goal in future is to go out and compete in touring car and GT racing. And this will be the perfect test for him, because the racing, as you can see on the screen right now, is just as hard as it would ever be in a category like BTCC or anything else right now. Making contact is Joel Joseph. That is not ideal. Joel Joseph and Sai Siva Shankaran making contact at the end of the back straight. It's not ideal for anyone. The damage, touchwood, does not look to be great, Karthik, but the momentum loss for everyone is insane, because look at this. The top two are able to pull out a gap of roughly around 5 seconds to that pack in the background.
I think the officials certainly will have a look at that.
No.
They're going tire to tire. Thankfully, no damage to either of the driver's cars, so they're okay to race, continue the race, and go on and continue with the battle that's going on for 3rd, 4th, and 5th at the moment. It is Abhay M who's in 3rd, Joel Joseph on the right of his screen, taking the inside line, using the slipstream. There is Sai Shiva. Then coming in easily in 3rd is Abhay M. Joel Joseph now, he's been pushed slightly wide, and that's a bit of a move there coming in from Liron Jaden Samuels in car number 7, although he's pushed back by Sai Shiva. So there's a lot happening. In fact, Joel Joseph has dropped a couple of places. He's moved down, well, almost to 6th now, if I'm correct, as that's Abhay M, followed by his teammate Shiva Sai. And that's car number 7 of Liron Jaden Samuels. Behind him is now Joel Joseph. So yes, he is in 6th, closely followed by car number 74, and that's Jamie Shaw, the lad from Mumbai. So there's a lot happening there in the mid-pack, if you can call it, because 1st and 2nd have just moved away, ran away from the rest. And then you have these bunch of racers who are fighting for 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. And that's, I can say, that's where the real action is happening. And that's one of the M Sports that you saw momentarily has stalled. We'll get you an update as to who it was. It's getting lonely at the top now, it seems, for Arjun and Aman Nagdev. They're well ahead. In fact, it's getting very lonely at the top only for Arjun. He's about 7.5 seconds, and that is Aman Nagdev. That is Aman Nagdev. Well, he was challenging Arjun Nair so very well. But that's the end of the race. Heartbreak for Aman. And it's now about 7.5 seconds, the gap between Arjun Nair and Abhay M, who's 2nd.
That must be a big big pill to swallow for Aman. He was P2 on the grid, going so well in P2 as well, holding on to Arjun, who has been incredible in the race so far. But I wonder what exactly has gone wrong. Meanwhile, Sai Shiva locking up a little bit. Leon Jaden Samuels is just barely on the outside, barely having enough gap to make sure that it didn't end up hitting Sai Shiva. It could have gone wrong though. It's crazy how the racing has been going so far. Of course, blue flags will be waving. They've encountered one of the back markers so far, and that should not be ideally a problem. But still, the racing is insane. And now Joel Joseph, can he use this chaos as an opportunity to propel his way past? Clearly there's a chance. And now, are they locking up a little bit? They are. The concentration is also getting lost here and there a little bit.
So now that's a good battle going on between Abhay, Sai Shiva, Leron James, and also Joel Joseph for second, third, fourth, and fifth. While Arjun Nair has just moved way ahead of everyone. Now coming in on the inside, making his move. And Sai Shiva is trying to make his move to take the second position. And yes, he has done it. He's moved into second as Sai Shiva, pushing his teammate Abhay M back to third. While Joel Joseph is hot on the heels of Leron Jaden Samuels for that battle in the fourth and the fifth position. Well, we've got two M Sport now in second and third. And it's got one Momentum Motorsports that's on your screen. Car number 18, Arjun Nair, who's your race leader and leading by a massive margin of close to 8.5 seconds. I was just saying it gets lonely at the top. He is quite lonely there, isn't he? Is Arjun Nair. He's nobody behind him. If he can just go through normally without making any mistake, I think he's got this wrapped up.
And let's also talk about the age and maturity levels as well. Arjun is currently 18 years old. The two cars you're seeing in the background right here, Sai Shiva and of course we have Abhay M as well. Both of them 15 years old. If you want to feel yourself if you want to feel old in a moment's time, just look at them who race, because they are barely just out of their racing careers, right? Only 15, and still they're so mature in the way they're going about things as well. So watch out for them and how they're going so far. And also Joel Joseph, because now the momentum seems to be on his side. He's getting the flow back again. He's making a move on Leron at the moment, heading down into turn 1, which seems like it's gone through properly, but we shall get confirmation. Not so easily though. Leron will not let him go. That's a good retort back down the inside line. All that matters is the exit, and Joel has a much better one. He's not sliding around. He's got all the mechanical grip in the world. At the moment, P4 is his, but at the end of the back straight, I am sure Leron is going to attack.
Oh, absolutely. I think Leron will not let this go by easily as he comes in now on the outside. Can Joel Joseph maintain that third, fourth position? Can he? Yes, he can so far. As you can see from the drone camera, wonderful view of the racetrack. We got Sai Shiva and Abhay M battling for the second and third spot. You can see the bottom of your screen, the car that's just left. That's Arjun Nair, your race winner, coming through the final corner of yet another lap, lap number 8. And now this battle going on between Leron and Joel Joseph, I beg your pardon. And it seems that at the moment it is Leron Jaden Samuels who's winning that battle comfortably. And you got Navneet Burani behind them in car number 21. So that's the confirmation coming to the end of lap number 8. Penultimate lap has just begun. It's Arjun Nair who's leading, Sai Shiva Sankaran in second, Abhay M in third, Leron Jaden Samuels in fourth. You got Joel Joseph coming in and fifth. So it's the battle now is for second and third, and then it's for fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh.
And look at this funny thing, right? All the drivers up ahead. Actually, we'll get back to that in a second. Aditya Topo having a bit of an issue right there, heading out to the outside of the circuit. Touch wood, he's okay and he's able to restart. But I want to focus on that battle that you saw in the mid-pack. Leron Jaden Samuels, 15 years old. Joel Joseph, 17. Navneet Burani, thereabouts, pretty young as well. In the back, P7, Jigar Mooney. He's nearly 40. I love the diversity in the grid as well, because it's a novice cup for all the drivers who haven't quite had their chance to get into motorsport. A lot of the youngsters that you see up top are people who are starting out their journey into something longer, something like sports cars, something like Formula 1. Jigar is out here trying to compete up and just trying to see how good is he and how can he rank up against all the pros as well. That's the proper definition of a working driver who races and works hard from Monday to Friday and then gets back to racing on Saturday, Sunday. It's a gentleman driver, and I love it. I love that Jigar's competing so hard and keeping up with all the kids as well.
Well, I can tell you something. A couple of seasons ago, the JK Tyre National Racing Championship taught me one thing. Age has got nothing to do with racing. We had a young Amir Saeed going on to win 12 out of possible 12 races. A complete clean sweep from him before he moved up to the Ahura Racing in the LGB Formula 4 category. He was tremendous, was Amir Saeed. He was driving for the M Sport team in that Novice Cup category, won all 12 races, and he had lads who were way elder to him. There were lads who were younger to him. So it's not just about the age. I think it's also about the talent, the temperament. Also, it's obviously a lot of skill is involved in this. At the moment, the battle going on for second and third between Sai Shiva and Abhay, the two teammates. That's your race leader on the screen. Car number 18, Arjun Nair, very comfortably going through to collect the second checkered flag of the day. Comes through for the final time in the final lap. And he's already started to celebrate. He knows he's got it. He knows he's got it by a huge margin of about 8 seconds. Your race winner, once again, brilliant as always throughout the day. Arjun Nair, followed by Sai Shivasankar and M. Abhay. Joel Joseph moved up to 4th. He'll get some valuable points. Vineet Burani in 5th. Lead on Jaden Samuels dropping down to 6th at the end of the race. Terrific stuff from Arjun Nair, winning race 1 in this category earlier in the day, and he's proving his mettle comfortably, winning race 2 in this category with a margin of over 8 seconds ahead of Sai Shivasankaran and his M Sport teammate Abhay M. So Momentum Motorsports continues to be on the top of the grid, top of the podium in this category, but a couple of very good positions for M Sport as far as the Drivers' Championship and the Constructors' Championship is concerned. So it is Arjun Nair, followed by Sai Shivasankar and Abhay M to win race 5 of day 1 of round 1 of the 26th JK Tyre FMSCI National Racing Championship, second race of the JK Tyre Novice Cup. He knew he had won it even before he crossed the start-finish line. The moment he took that final turn of the final lap, he started celebrating, did Arjun Nair. That's the confirmation on the bottom left of your screen. Arjun Nair, your race winner. Sai Shivasankaran coming in second. And Abhay M taking the third and final spot on the podium. You have to feel bad for Aman Nagdev. He was going ever so well. He was right there with Arjun Nair till about lap number 5-6. But then got off the track. His race ended there. And also, you got to feel bad for Nathan McPherson. Had a tremendous start. He was among the top 3. Was Nathan, who was pushing very hard. Remember, finished in one of the podium places. Nathan McPherson. In fact, he was second in the race earlier in the day, but had a problem with his engine, smoke blaring out, and that's something you just cannot control. Had it been a tire issue, something you can do about it, maybe going into the pits. But if it's an engine issue, then it's an engine issue, and that was the end of the race. These are the highlights of the Novice Cup category. This is what we were talking about very quickly. We'll show you. This was a great start by Aman Nagdev. He started at P2 and very quickly took first position away from Arjun Nair, although not for long. As you'll see in a moment or two, there's one of the drivers coming through the tyre barrier. In the background, you can see that's the race control room, the media box where we are stationed. It was a good intense battle earlier on here. That's the one we're talking about. Aman Nagdev and Arjun Nair. Remember, Aman started at P2 very quickly, took the race lead. And that's the moment I was talking about. That's the incident I was talking about with Nathan McPherson. He's very quickly got both his hands out to signal to the drivers behind him that I really can't help it. You have to find your own way. And that was just unfortunate end to the race for Nathan McPherson. This was the battle that was going on. That was a hard battle going on for 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. In fact, also as you had Sai Shivasankar, Joel Joseph, Abhay M involved in the mix of things. And then you had the likes of Navneet Burani as well. in that lot. That's Sai Sivasankar, car number 1, peeling ahead off that gap ever so slightly. He had the car number 7 also involved, and that was Leron Jaden Samuels. These two had a right go till the very end, only for Leron to fall back in the final lap. But this was a very intense part of the track. Obviously, the front two had peeled away rather comfortably. They were about 7 seconds ahead of the rest of the crew. So the battle, the real battle right now was going on for 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th, with Arjun Nair already taking the lead away from Aman Nagdev, and Aman was obviously challenging close behind. But Arjun Nair obviously had other plans. This is where Leron James made his move, coming in on the inside to overtake Joel Joseph. Joel Joseph in car number 31, you can see, then making sure, trying his best to regain his position, but that was not going to happen, as Leron did a very, very good job. Then onto the straight is where it was easier. That's Sai Sivasankar along with Abhay M, the two teammates from M Sport, battling it out. That was the race leader, way ahead of everyone else, comfortably leading. Arjun Nair did the same in what he did earlier in the day. And coming through the final lap, you can already see him. He was celebrating, he was enjoying. It's 2 out of 2 for Arjun Nair.
मैडम जी वो सारे पैसे लेके भाग गए और मेरा वड़ा पाव भी ले गए।
दिखाते हैं इनको।
मोटे वड़ा पाव। हीलर निकाल दे इसके हवा।
पंक्चर के बाद भी इससे हवा नहीं निकलेगी, क्योंकि ये है जेके पंक्चर गार्ड टायर, जो कील लगने के बाद भी होता है हील।
क्यों निकल गई हवा?
जेके पंक्चर गार्ड टायर, अब हवा नहीं निकलेगी।
Just don't hold back, keep dancing down the track.
So on to the prize distribution ceremony now. These are live images coming from the Karimoto Speedway. We got your winners. That's Hari Singh there, the legend himself, distributing the prize. Talking about your race winners. Abhay M and Sai Siv Shankar, the two M Sport boys in 2 and 3, finishing runners up there. But the main man today in the Novice Cup category has been Arjun Nair, picking up his 2nd race win in as many in this category in the JK Tyre Novice Cup. He's delighted, isn't he? You can look, yes, now that's the smile that we've been waiting for. A 2nd winner's trophy for him, along with the runners-up positions for Sai Siv Shankar and Abhay M. Constructors Trophy as well. The Tuners Trophy also going to Momentum Motorsport. It's a good start to the weekend for Momentum. It's a good start to the weekend for Arjun S. Nair. Arjun Nair, the lad who comes from Bangalore, won the first race and he's gone on to win the 2nd one as well. Every time you see a racer win 2 races on day 1 of round 1, very quickly you go back to remember what we talk about, Amir Saeed winning 12 out of 12. So is there somebody who's going to repeat that fate? We'll just have to wait and watch. We'll just have to wait and watch. We're in the city of windmills. We're in Coimbatore. You can see we've been talking about it all day. There's been a good breeze of about good 14-15 kilometers per hour blowing across the circuit, across the city. And well, that's one of the best ways to generate electricity, along with obviously solar power. You can see the tree on your screen also moving, so that tells you about the win situation. We'll very quickly move across to the presentation area where we've got Somil chatting up with the race winners.
Mind-blowing, yeah, this race really was that. I'm right here with the podium sitters of the JK Tyre Novice Cup Championship, this second race that we've got here. We firstly have Abhay in P3. What a mental race, man. You guys were battling all the way through.
Yeah, it was a fun race. Had a lot of good battles on the way. Made a few mistakes, could have gone a bit higher, but looking forward to the next race tomorrow. Thank you.
And what's the weekend been like generally? How is the momentum feeling all the way through?
Start of the weekend it was pretty hard because we had like setting up the car still. But now it's feeling good with the car and all, and the race is going good. Looking forward to tomorrow.
All the best for that, man. Great job with this one. Now we have to be with the man in P2, Sai. What a great race, mate. This was incredible to watch. What's it been like, this Novice Cup so far? First year, and you're already doing so well so far.
Yeah, it was a decent weekend for me, but like we had a lot of problems with the engine. I mean, like we had beautiful pace during the testing, and you know, the mechs have been working really hard to set the new chassis up, new engine. We've been doing a lot of running in, and you know, it's clearly paid off, but you know, we can still get the little more as we are facing some engine problems. But yeah, I mean, for now, the mechs have done a really good job. I'd like to thank Rakesh sir, who's really taught me and made me come to this level. So yeah, a little bit more work, but we'll get there.
And how are you going to celebrate this evening? P2 is a great place to start, right?
Yeah, it's a great place to start, but each and every driver would like to have more. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's just the start of the championship, so work's not finished.
Love the mentality, man. Great job today. Have fun. And now, of course, the winner. We have to bring him on. We have Arjun Nair, folks. My man, the double. What's it feel like?
It feels pretty good to be, but if I'm being perfectly honest, not as good as the first one because me and Aman, we were pretty close. Like it was pretty neck and neck between me and him. Like if he was catching up to me in like a certain corner, I was pulling away. So he was keeping me honest, if I'm being perfectly frank. But then, yeah, unfortunate to see him bow out of the race with a mechanical failure. So it is a win after all, but it's not as sweet as the first one, if I'm being honest. Yeah, and other than that, very, very happy in general because from about a month ago, we've been working super hard, you know, to get the cars where they are today. Ever since, and I was here from Tuesday morning running in, putting in about 200 laps. And, you know, finally it paid off. So all of the hard work, like behind the scenes work that you guys don't see, you know, every single mechanic, all of the tuners, Deeps, Anand, Bob, Rashid uncle, obviously, Jason, Satish uncle, the mech tuner. So everyone's been working super hard, and I'm just happy because I was able to make as little mistakes as possible and give the team the result that they deserve as well. And yeah, looking to push forward for more, and yeah.
But it's incredible, mate. Many congratulations on the double.
And if you guys remember, I don't know if you remember or not, but round 3, JK, last race, I told we will be back stronger, we will be back hungrier, and I will be back stronger. So yeah, thank you.
Great to see that. The winner, folks, Arjun Nair. Many congratulations, buddy. And folks, we now need to talk a little bit about this weekend as well. Because what a weekend it has been so far. We've gotten to see 2 amazing Novice Cup races with that man winning both of them firstly, Arjun Nair from Winter Motorsports. But also, we had the Royal Enfield GT 650 Cup as well. In that, Anand Har won a race of attrition. So many people who were leading the race eventually got down and made mistakes. So Anand survived and was so calm, so confident. And then the LGBF 4, the battles between Dark Dawn Racing's drivers. Tijil Rao winning one race and Arya Singh also winning another one. This was an incredible Saturday full of racing. And the best part is, we're going to get another day of racing tomorrow. So join us at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. Same place, the JK Tyre Motorsport YouTube and social media channels on Facebook as well. Because tomorrow we're going to see more LGBF4 action, more of these guys in the Novice Cup, and also the 250cc Cup as well. And then the Enfield GT 650s as well for the Continental. So there's always some racing action going on at Curry Motor Speedway. Join us tomorrow. And of course, from Karthik and back in the comms box, and for everyone representing the broadcast crew and JK Tyres, many thanks for watching this broadcast. My name is Somal Arora, and we shall see you at 11 in the morning tomorrow. Bye-bye.